everyone. Hi. Good evening to everyone. Okay. Hi. I'm live. If you happen to come across this live, you can share me out. You can share me out on your socials, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. If you're a content creator, you can share me out on your YouTube channel as well. Hello, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, I can see Emmanuel. Emmanuel, can you hear me? Yeah, I can see Emmanuel. Hunaveng, Emmanuel. Yeah, I can see you. If you've just joined the stream, you are so welcome to my live. You are so welcome to my live. You are so welcome to my live. Do all to share me out. Hello. Chibibi. Hi, how are you doing? Hi, I'm doing very well. Please like my live, share me out on your socials, on your page, on your channels, on your community tab. Share me out. Thank God you are fine. Thank God you are fine. This live is actually asking questions. Any nursing questions that you have. I can see Mahmoud Abubakar. Great to be here at the moment. Yes, it's great to have you. You are one of my top commenters, actually. You are one of my top commenters who actually comment on my channel. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you so much. Please, if you have any questions, you can start dropping the questions. My weekend is actually for all of you. Sorry for the feedback. I wanted to be sure I'm actually, on. Yeah, thank you for sharing me out. Tibibi, thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing me out. I actually wanted to, oh, sorry for the feedback. Yeah, sorry for the feedback. Okay, so this weekend is for the people of my channel. If you have any nursing questions, nursing in the UK, nursing anywhere, as far as migration is concerned, you can ask them and I'll be ready to answer you. If you just came across me, you can share me out on your socials or Facebook. On Instagram. If you're a content creator, you can also do so on your community tab. You just share me out. If you have any questions for me, I am all in. I'm all yours this evening. I'm yours for tonight. Yeah. How to apply in aged care. Okay, actually, that is for the care home. And it's the same criteria. Hello, Jay. Vadan, I'm answering your question on how to apply in an aged care. It's the same as working in the care home. And the criteria is the same for those applying for the NHS. So you have to have your IELTS or OET results. You should pass. And the band score is band 7 in listening, 7 in reading, 7 in speaking, and at least a 6.5 in writing. If you have this, you go ahead to write your computer-based test, which is solely nursing questions, 120 nursing questions. So you write these exams, and once you pass, you can apply with the NMC of UK that you want to come and practice. They'll give you something called a decision letter. So if you have these things, the decision letter, your CBT exams, and you've passed your IELTS or OET exams, you then go straight away to search for a job. So with the aged homes or the care homes, you can go through either an agency or you do direct application. If you want to do direct application, you can check on Indeed or NHS jobs or Google search. You can actually find lots of jobs there that are looking for nurses from overseas to work in the UK. So if you are successful in your application and you get this job, you will be interviewed. And then when you pass the interview, you can actually, start your processing if you are going through an agent. If it is direct employment, then you have to pay for your visa and your ticket. You have to pay for your visa and your ticket. J Lio, sorry if I don't pronounce your name well. You came across my channel a few days ago. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you subscribed. I hope you have already subscribed. So please, have I answered your question, Vandan, how to apply for a care home? You can do so by checking on Google search. You can check on Google search. You can go on Indeed, and then you get lots of jobs actually looking for nurses to help them. UK needs nurses and will always need nurses, as I say. Nurses will never, be in short as far as the UK is concerned. Searching for nurses will never end because the health system need people like you. They need your expertise to come and help. And if you're already in the UK also watching this live, you are here, you can do extra, jobs here. So getting a care home is simple. It's actually very simple than getting an NHS. As it stands now, getting an NHS looks a bit challenging, not so much than it used to be. Because of the COVID, a lot of things happened and, it kept going back and forth. But things are becoming better, though they are anticipating that there'll be a second wave. It's not yet due. Or let's say we are still waiting. We haven't had the wave yet. So we are praying that everything falls in place so that you can go on with your application. Okay, you are welcome, Bandan, you are welcome. Jay said, I'm a nurse. How does a graduate nurse get into UK or Canada? Okay, Jay, I don't know if you've been following. You said you saw my channel a few days ago. It means you've not been following for some time now, or maybe you've not watched my previous videos. If you want to work in the UK, that's where most of my knowledge and expertise lies because that's what I've personally done and I can testify to. So if you're a graduate nurse, working in the UK is very simple. It's very simple. You have to write a test of competence, an English test of competence exams, which is called the IELTS or the OAT. And these exams, you have to write it because, in Africa, we are not considered as coming from an English-speaking country. Though we were taught in English, we did all our practice in English, we are not considered to be from an English-speaking country. So to prove that you can communicate effectively in English language, you have to write your IELTS or your OET, which is the occupational English test. And the IELTS centers are many. You can get them in most countries, but the OET is only 2 centers in Africa. It moved to Nigeria last year, and it's also in South Africa. So if you want to write the OET, you can do so. If you want to write the IELTS, you can do so. And you need the band scores that you need for the UK. You need band 7 in listening, band 7 in speaking, band 7 in reading, at least band 7 in these 3. And then you need at least a band 6.5 in the other modules. So if you have this, congratulations to you. You then write the computer-based test, which is solely nursing questions, 120 nursing questions. And then before you write the test, you have to register with the RMC of UK, telling them that you want to write, you want to practice with them. So you submit your documents and everything, and then they give you permission to go to the Pearson's View Center to write your CBT test. If you pass, it means you've passed your IELTS, you've passed your CBT. Then you go online to look for jobs. So you can look through either an agency or you can do yourself your direct employment, that you search for the job yourself and then you come. Or you go through an agency and this agent is going to sponsor you, take you through the process, and then you come. So after you've gotten a job, you are interviewed. If you are successful, that is it. They give you your document and everything, your certificate of sponsorship, which states that you are going to be sponsored by your employer or by the trust or the hospital that you are going to work for. So if everything goes successful, you apply for your visa, you book your tickets, and you're already in the UK. Actually, the UK process is so far the easiest as it stands now, in comparison with Canada, with Australia, with New Zealand, with Singapore, with Ireland, and the rest. With US, UK now stands out tall in its easy way of getting nurses from overseas on board. With Canada, it's a process and it's a very lengthy one. I actually was following prior to moving to the UK. I was also doing other, inquiries of moving to Canada and the rest. And with Canada, you have to verify your result or your certificate. I think if you go to their website, the Canada Immigration's website, all these details are there. If you're a skilled worker, you get your credentials or your certificates verified, showing that you are. You are asking whether it's easier than Canada. Yes, it's UK is now easier. Getting a job offer in the UK is easier once you've passed your IELTS and your or your OET and your CBT. Is easier getting a job offer in the UK than it is for Canada. Though the IELTS requirements are a bit lower for Canada and for US, sometimes getting agents, to take you through the process or getting job offers there is quite challenging. But sometimes you get some agents that are good. Like for the US, there is an agency called Avant and Passport USA. I know they also help a lot. A friend of mine recently went through Avant this year to the United States. So with working overseas from developing countries, so far the UK is the easiest. It's just that the IELTS and OET requirements for the UK is the highest. It is the highest. The IELTS and OET requirements are very high and looks somehow difficult to achieve. But once you achieve it, getting a job offer in the UK stands out and is like the hottest cake so far. Charity will say, you are welcome to my LS. You are welcome. Is that which part of UK is affordable to live? I mean, cost of living, rent, etc. Okay, I think I'm done with Jay. Jay, if you have any question, you can still ask. Okay, yeah, you can still ask. With Charity, your question. Every part in UK is expensive. Actually, London is the most expensive now. As it stands, London, Manchester, Birmingham, Rochester, those areas are quite expensive to live. But trust me, every part of UK is a little expensive. There is no, cheap place to live. And for rent, let's say if you are living outside London, you should look at something between, it depends on the type of accommodation you're actually looking for. If you want a shared accommodation, it's quite cheaper in outside London. If you're looking for shared accommodation, it's quite cheaper. If you want a studio apartment or a one-bedroom flat, as we call it, that can be a little bit expensive. You can target something like between 800 to 1,000 pounds per month. If you want a one-bed flat or a studio apartment, anything between 800 to 1,000 pounds per month, you should target. So every part of UK, food is cheap. When it comes to UK, getting food to eat is very relatively cheaper. Getting food, if you are single, and it all depends on the way that you spend or your spending culture. You can spend less than 200 pounds on food if you are alone. It's the rent that kills, the rent that stacks. And getting clothes, if you are not the kind of person who changes clothes so much and you want to maintain a couple of clothes, depending on the season, you get some original or designer ones, you are good to go. You can maintain them for a period before changing. So far is the rent. And with where I am outside of London. I'm in Kent, Ashford, which is an hour drive to London. And it's also expensive. Some of the rent here is just the same as in London. Even if it's cheaper, maybe the difference is just £100 or £50. So the difference is not much. The difference is not much. With any parts being cheap, I think it depends on you as an individual and how you kind of live. It all depends on you as an individual and how you kind of live. If you live in moderation, if you are not somebody who spends so much, then it will really help you. No matter where you stay, it's good. Even London, that is expensive to live. London's salary is also higher. It's higher living, getting salary in London is higher than anywhere else in the UK. And the cost of living there is also higher than anywhere else in the UK. So it all depends on you as an individual. But Northern Ireland and Scotland is cheaper than England. Northern Ireland and Scotland is cheaper than England because in Northern Ireland and Scotland, they don't pay council tax. Yes, my friends there tell me they don't pay what we call the council tax, which is the water bill and those things. But in England, you pay. You pay for it, and it can go as high as £50 to £100 in a month. And that adds up to your bill. But in Northern Ireland and in Scotland, they do not pay for these things. So it makes those areas cheaper to live than in the UK. And it also depends on the things that you use. If you are driving, for instance, cars are cheaper to buy, but the insurance, the maintenance, the parking space, and things that you have to pay to get this car moving can actually also go high, and that can add up to your bill. So it depends on your lifestyle. It depends on the things that you are using or you are living on to make you feel comfortable here in the UK. But generally, Northern Ireland and Scotland are cheaper to live than actually living in England. So Charity was saying, if I've answered your question, please let me know. Please let me know. But I can advise that if you are coming for the first time, you can come, like as an individual. Please give me a minute, okay? Let me share my Facebook pages. Okay, so yeah. If you are coming for the first time, it's advisable that you come alone. You come alone and you settle, especially for those of us who have families, who have children. It's advisable that you come alone. First, you settle, you get like a good place to feel comfortable, and then later on your family can come, by which time you would be sure you know how you can cope with the family, you know how much you can spend on the family, you know that you can afford these things before you bring them. So it's advisable you come alone, you work a while, you gather your monies, you look around for good living. And mind you, if your employer who brought you initially, maybe the area that you came in first, you are not comfortable with that area, you can always change. You can always change. But if you are changing earlier than a year or two, it means you have to pay the cost that the employer, brought you in. You have to give those monies back to them before they leave you. But if you have served more than 2 years, you can always go to another trust or another organization or hospital that you want. So I think I've answered that. Jay is asking whether lifestyle really does matter then. Yes, it does matter. It does matter a lot. Because if you are somebody who is in the habit of wasting, not say like you are a typical waster, but you don't account for certain things. The little things count. If you don't account for certain things, you are really going to spend lots more than you have to. Especially with we women, with our hair and stuff. Sometimes if you are fortunate, you can get maybe a friend who comes from another country or another place who is good in hair. can do your hair for you at a cheaper cost, it's better. It helps to cut down your cost. If you're not somebody who is extravagant in your living, yes, you can live minimally and you can live well. You can live well. Actually, I always say that you can live well. Well, better, far better than in Africa or anywhere, because the things here are original, and if you are buying them and using them well, it lasts for you. So yeah, it depends on your way of life and all that. Adobia Papebi says, hello, dear. Hope you are good. Yes, dear, I'm so good. Thanks so much for checking up on me. I'm very well. Thank you. I hope you are also good. I hope you are also good. Papebi, I hope you're also doing well. And Charity says, thank you. You are always welcome. If you have any questions, you can keep them coming. As I said, this is it's a live stream, so you can always go back and come forth. I'm here for 3 hours. I'll be here till 8 p.m. UK time and 7 p.m. Ghana time. So you can always go back and forth. Love It TV says, hello, honey. Hello, thanks for passing by, Love It. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for passing by. Thanks a lot, dear. Thanks for passing by. So Emmanuel says, thank you so much for your time. Can you recommend some agencies we can work with? Yes, I can recommend some agencies that you can work with, but not so much, because as at the moment, I contacted some agencies. I was trying to do a video actually on agencies that recruit nurses. And things have changed, because prior to COVID, a lot of things were going on smoothly until COVID came, and then post-COVID, some of the agencies have started, behaving in some manners, because now we are not paying for IHS fee. You know what we call the IHS, the Immigration Health Surcharge. This money used to be £1,200 per person for one person. So if you were coming alone, you would need to pay this money as part of your visa application process before you come. And these monies were mostly paid for by the agencies that you would have been bringing. And then after you come, the hospital pays back to the agent. Or if you're doing a direct application, you pay by yourself, and then the hospital pays to you when you move in. But after the COVID, that the IHS was scraped off, some of the agencies are actually looking for ways to loot this money from the nurse, or to loot this money from the health worker that they are recruiting. So some have started charging some monies that are not relevant, that they are not supposed to take in actual sense. So for now, the agency I can recommend that I know are bringing people into the UK now who are not paying a dime. One is Medline Recruitment Agency. They are really doing well. They brought people that I know recently. They are doing so well, and they are not really demanding on monetary issues. And they are fast. They are also fast. Sometimes you can pass an exams, you wait, and you're not getting job. So Medline is doing well. We also have MMA. MMA also does well, but MMA takes a lot of time to get you on board. MMA takes a lot of time to get you on board. I also know of IMS Recruitment Agency, but prior to COVID, they were not taking any monies. But after the COVID, I contacted them on behalf of a friend, and they were demanding some monies that personally I wasn't comfortable with. So I can't, as of now, if you are living on a low budget, or you are trying to migrate on a low budget, maybe you can search with them to be sure that maybe they're not demanding those monies from you. If they are not demanding, then you can go with them. But if they're demanding, I'm afraid you have to look elsewhere. We also have Medax and HCL. All these agencies, you can find their websites on Google search. They also do well in bringing nurses on board. So these are some of the few agencies that I can actually recommend. But now it's advisable to do direct employment as well. If you have your money to pay for your own visa and for your ticket, the direct employment is also very fast. It is also very fast, because now, the jobs are there, but the agencies, most of them are not helping. So if you get a direct employment, you have your visa fee is now $316, and the tickets you can get it around $500 dollars for one way. So if you have your money and you think you can do the direct, once you come, your employer gives the money back to you. They give your visa money, they give your ticket money back to you. So if you have your money, you can do direct employment. And if you want to do direct employment, you can search for them on NHS jobs or track jobs. A lot of jobs are there. They advertise daily for specialty, medical, surgical, all these NHS jobs. You can find them on these websites. So Jay is asking what's the range of salary generally in the UK? Okay, as I said, salaries in extra. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for passing by. Generally, salaries in London are higher than anywhere else in the UK because the workload there is also high. Thank you, Extra. Oh, thank you so much for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for passing by. Salaries in London are higher, as I was saying. Salaries in London are higher because the workload there is high. The cost of living there is high than any other place in England. But generally, the NHS pay will cut across for the other parts of UK. So if you are a pre-registered nurse, you know that when you are coming in fresh, like from overseas, you first come as a band 4 nurse, and then later you are moved to band 5 after you pass your OSCE and your OSCE. After you pass, you are moved to band 5. So prior to being moved to band 5, you work as a band 4 or a healthcare assistant, and at that time you are earning something between 1,700 to 1,800 pounds per month without overtime. This is just for working for 37.5 hours in a week. And if we say 37.5 hours in a week, is generally or approximately 3 days in a week. So you are working just 3 days in a week. You have 4 days off. It means you are doing 12-hour shift in a day. So if you do this 12-hour shift 3 days in a week for a month, you are getting something between 1,700 to 1,800 pounds in a month. So that is the salary before you are moved to band 5. So after your OSCE, if you pass your OSCE, then you are moved to the band 5 salary, which should be between 2,000 to 2,001. That salary for the band 5 should be between 2,000 to 2,100 pounds per month. All things being equal, if you are working for 3 days in a week without doing overtime, it means if you are doing overtime, you earn more. And the overtime too depends on where you are doing it. If you are doing it in the care home, it means you are multiplying your income because the care homes pay more than the NHS. The care homes tend to pay more than the NHS. So if you are doing overtime in care home, it means you are earning more. If you are doing overtime in NHS, you will still earn more, but it's not as you are doing in the care homes. So the salary all depends on you. But the least is between 1,700 to 1,800. That is when you are a pre-registered nurse. And if you are moved onto the scale, that is, you are fully registered, you have between 2,000 to 2,100 without overtime. So if you are doing more overtime, it means you are getting more. Okay, please, I hope I've answered your question. Adobia Papabi says, I'm good, dear. Love watching your videos. Wanted to give up, but with your videos, I don't want to give up again. Please don't give up, okay? Please don't give up. I always say that the reason why I personally came on YouTube to start doing videos is not because of anything. It's because I saw the struggle I went through when I wanted to migrate. I saw the struggle I went through. So after I moved, like it dawned on my heart. I had that kind of conviction. I had that kind of interest to help people. That is the reason why I came on YouTube, to help people who want to also move, to get their transition smooth. So sometimes the journey becomes very discouraging, especially you are doing videos and maybe you're not getting the views you think you will get. It sometimes gets discouraging. But at the back of your mind, know that Maybe you are saving just one person. Maybe you are helping just one person. And that is a lot that you should be appreciative for. It's not about anything that you are earning from this thing. We all know how it is. There is nothing to boast about with being on YouTube, but the heart that you have to help people, it keeps us moving. So, papa, please don't give up. Just keep motivating others, keep helping others. You don't know how many lives you are touching until you really start. Okay, so please keep it up. So that means that you can work double jobs. Yes, Jay, like you can do back to back. Okay, you can do back to back. As it stands now, the nurses are needed. Nurses are actually needed in the system, and it's difficult passing this IELTS and all. So if you are able to pass and you move, you can do back to back. You can actually use the system against itself. You can do 3-4 jobs. It all depends on you. But I wouldn't advise you to do so many jobs like that. Okay. Just you can keep 2 jobs. If you are not so busy, if you don't have a family yet, you can keep 2 jobs and you'll still be fine. And night rates, weekend rates, and holiday rates are higher than the normal days. So you can do extra duties in the NHS, in the care home, you can do banks shifts, you can do any shift as long as you want. But you have to also consider your health so that you do not break down. So I would advise that you actually don't do much. If you think you have so much strength and you can do more, fine. You can do more, you can do extra jobs. And prior to the COVID, there was some kind of a bond or a clause for overseas nurses who were moving. You actually had to do, if you wanted to do extra duties, you were allowed to do only 20 hours extra duties outside your main job. But because the COVID came and lots of hands were needed, they realized that nurses were really, of high value and were in high demand. You can now do as many hours you want. As far as it's not interfering with the job, your main job, you can do it and you are good to go. So you can do any hours that you want, double jobs, triple jobs. As far as it's not interfering with the main job that brought you, you are good to go, you are fine. Okay, you asked again, so what do you mean by pre-registered nurse? I was explaining it. I don't know, maybe you didn't get it. Before you moved to the UK, you were writing some exams. You wrote IELTS, you passed. You wrote CBT, you passed. After you passed CBT, NMC UK gave you a letter. That is called a decision letter telling you that you can move to the UK and continue with the part 2 of your registration process, which is writing your OSCE examination. The OSCE examination is the practical exams that you have to do. Maybe I'll try and do a separate video on the OSCE, the general overview of OSCE. So you have to write that OSCE exams before you get your license to practice here in the UK as a full registered nurse. And before getting that license, you can't just be here without doing anything. It means you have to work. You have to work and get some kind of money or cash to support you whilst you are still here. So that job that you do before writing your OSCE is called the pre-registration nurse job that you are doing, or the band 4 job. So at that point, you are called a band 4 nurse or a healthcare assistant. So whilst you are doing this job, you are taking the salary that I mentioned, that 1,700 to 1,800. So that is the period that we call pre-registration nurse or pre-registered nurse. So by 2 to 3 months, you would have written your OSCE and passed by the grace of God, because OSCE is not easy, it's not difficult. So after you pass your OSCE, then you are a full registered nurse or a band 5 nurse, and then you are moved to the band 5 payroll. So prior to being moved to the band 5 payroll, you are going to work as a pre-registered nurse. So please, I hope it's explained, Jay. If it's not well explained, please let me know. If you are just coming across my LS, do all to share me out on your socials and give me a thumbs up if you think it's good. Give me a thumbs up. Jay says, I appreciate that. You are always welcome. You are always welcome. You are always welcome, dear. You are always welcome. Working in the UK is fun. And Jay, as you are working as a pre-registered nurse, within that time frame, you are being accommodated by your employer. You are being accommodated by your employer. You are living in your apartment that is being given to you. Some give up to 3 months free accommodation. Some give you 2 months. Some give you 1 month of free accommodation. You don't pay for anything. You don't pay bills. You don't pay lights. You don't pay water. You don't pay rent. You don't pay Wi-Fi. Absolutely nothing is for free. So you are staying in the accommodation for free and you are still working and taking salary. So by the time you write your OSCE and pass, you should have saved a little to start life on your own, to rent a better place, to rent a better space. Okay, so it's fair. It's fair because the 1,008 you are taking, you are not actually being, yeah, like you are not spending much from the 1,700, 1,008 that you are taking. You are not spending much at all. Maybe you just spend on food or some clothes you want to buy based on your taste, based on the things you want to wear. Most people also bring lots of clothes from home, depending on the weather. You can get some heavy clothes from home, which are cheaper home. They're actually cheaper from Africa than buying them here. So you can get your winter jacket or your heavy tops, your trousers and your shoes before like you come, so that you didn't use so much money within your first 2 3 months stay in the UK. So basically, these are some of the things you can do to cut down costs. You also cook in bulk. You cook in bulk. You store them. And then it also helps to save. It also helps you to save money. You don't buy outside. You don't eat from their restaurants because eating out can be expensive sometimes. So all these things that you're doing in the first 2 3 months are helping you to basically like save money and then gather more to live independently after passing your OSCE or after being moved to your band 5 role that you have been applied you have been employed for. Yeah, so Jay said, thanks you so much. You are always welcome. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. I always say that working in the UK is good because they are considerate. They are considerate, and I'm saying this because somebody shared a video of mine on one social media platform that I am on, and immediately somebody replied under the video link that they are not ready to migrate because people of UK do not respect their lives. That was around the time that George Floyd's issue had come. He was being shot in the US, and so this Black Lives Matters and all that came up. So people were actually scared to work overseas and all that. But if you are outside, you see it differently. If you are in, you know what it is. And I always say, if it is only when you look for trouble that you get into it. If you are not looking for trouble, I'm not sure you are going to get into trouble. It's only when you are, unless maybe the person is specifically after you. Even with that, we have systems of reporting. We have systems, of reporting those people. You have your line managers. You have all that you can speak to if anything bothers your mind. The privileges I have are not as I had back in Ghana. I will be frank. I didn't have these privileges that I never had any privilege that I'm having here. I never had it in Ghana. Never, ever. I didn't get it. Because here I'm now in a specialty unit. I don't have experience. I have nothing. I'm just a graduate nurse with my BSc from Ghana, and I was just sent to a specialty unit. In Ghana, who will do that for you? You have to undergo training, you have to do courses and all that. If you don't have money to do those things, I'm afraid you can't. But here in the UK, they are considered to listen to you. The line manager always wants to make sure that you are comfortable at all points in time. You can communicate freely with them. You can communicate freely. In Ghana, I didn't get it. I didn't get it because your in charge or your superior is not ready for you. Most of them, some are doing well, yes. I commend most of them are doing well. The higher percentage, they won't even listen to you. But here, if you have any challenge, you can communicate. At a point, maybe you want to self-isolate, you want to like get some rest. It all depends on your communication with them. So here, yes, there are a lot of privileges that you get that you wouldn't get like in Africa. Okay. Adobia is asking, can you take a trip to another country even if you don't have your PIN yet? Yes. Yes, you can. You can go anywhere and come back. As far as it doesn't interfere with your work. As far as it doesn't interfere with your work, you can always do so. You can go on 10 trips in a month and come back. You can do it because the visa they are giving you is a tier 2 general visa, also called the residence permit visa. And this visa guarantees you multiple entry in and out of the UK. You can go anywhere. Where I live is quite close to France. You can go by train to France and come back. As far as it doesn't interfere with your work, if you think you have some off days that you want to, they even encourage you to go on trips. Your line managers, your superiors, they encourage you to have fun, go on trips. Because these things helps you to relax. It helps you to open up. It helps you to give out your best at work. So they advise you if you have your leave, if you have some days off, you have to know around, you have to go around. You can go anywhere and come back as far as it doesn't interfere with your work. But currently, because of the COVID-19 restrictions all around, you have to be careful where you are actually going. If you are going outside to a country that is not in the UK's exemption list, then when you are coming back or when you come back, you are going to self-isolate for 14 days. You are going to self-isolate for 14 days, which can affect your work, especially if you didn't plan well. It eats into your leave. It can affect your work. So please, if you are going somewhere, you should make sure that it's within the UK's non-restricted areas, like the European countries, America, Canada. They are on the exemption list. So if you go to these countries and come, you are exempted. You don't have to self-isolate. But if you are going to a country that is not in the exemption list, then you come back to face a compulsory 14 days quarantine. You'll be in the room for 14 days without going anywhere. And if you flout these measures, you are going to be fined £1,000 and above. You are going to be actually fined. So you can go anywhere and come back. As far as you have your money, yes, money is also important. As far as you have your money and you think you can go and come, those holidays are not paid for. Nobody pays for you. Your employer doesn't sponsor them. So if you have your salary, you think you've saved enough, you want to spend some time outside to have fun, yes, you can. It's not against the work. Once it doesn't interfere with your work, it's not eating up into your work schedule, it's not eating into your time of duty, you can always go, come, roll over, and do whatever you want to do. They even encourage it the more because it makes you have fun, you know, around other places. When like people are talking, you can also talk. Yes. When people are talking, I've been here, I've been to France, I've been to Norway, I've been to where, you can also say some that you have also been there. But advise that you actually start from within. If you are new in the system, you start from within the UK. You start from moving around within the UK. So in England, there are lots of nice places in the outskirts you can visit. You can go to Northern Ireland, you can go to Scotland, you can go to Wales. And these places, you don't need visas to go because you already have your permit, your resident permit. So you don't need visas to go. If you are touring within Europe too, you don't need visas for most of these countries. But if you're going outside Europe, you will need visas for some of the countries. So you have to cross-check online to know which countries you need visas for, which countries you don't need visas for. So we have Damilola Oluseye. Oh, wow. Please pardon me if I didn't pronounce your name well. Damilola, thank you so much for passing by. I say, God bless you real good. Thank you. I appreciate your effort for stopping by. I appreciate your efforts for stopping by. I appreciate your effort. Thank you all for joining my LS. It's actually my first live program that I've done. I had always wanted to do live, but live will not allow me to go live. Personal life will not allow me to go live. So it's like this week I had some time. I just decided to spend 3 hours with my subscribers for them to know that I care about them. They have questions that they want to ask. I'm just here to answer them. Sometimes people get to me through emails, and sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult for me to, get through the mails because I have multiple emails that I'm running, and sometimes going to check on the YouTube mail delays. So you can send an email and it takes days for me to respond. Though most of the times I make sure that I respond within 24 hours. But maybe due to schedule, maybe your email went into the spam or something. That is why I decided to do this LS today to answer your questions live, to actually answer your questions live. So please, if you just joined in and you know any friend or anyone who wishes to move to the UK, you can share me out to them. If they have any questions, they can ask. Maybe once in a while, I'll be going live. Maybe once in a while, I'll be going live. I also plan on adding tomorrow, but it all depends on how today turns out. If today turns out good and people still have questions, yes, I will add tomorrow. Okay, so I have Sadat Ibrahim. I have Sadat Ibrahim in the house. Thank you, Sadat, for stopping by. And Sadat says, what happens after your first contract and you want to move to a different employer? You need IELTS again? No, you don't need IELTS again. You already have your IELTS. You already have your PIN. The purpose of the IELTS is to get your PIN. Okay, the purpose of the IELTS is to get your PIN, to get registered with the NMC of UK. So once you have your PIN, the IELTS is of no value unless you want to go to school. If you want to go to school, then you still need IELTS. But apart from getting your PIN, you don't need the IELTS for anything again. So if you've worked with your employer for your first 3 years contract, you want to change employer, congratulations, they don't have any problem with you. You can go as far as you want to go, anywhere that you want to go. You have a resident permit. You just renew your permit. It's valid for 3 months. For 3 years. And then you can get your citizenship after 5 years. So for the first 3 years, if you want to move out of that institution or you want to move out of that organization, you just have to go wherever you want to go without taking IELTS again. You only take IELTS when you want to go to school or when you want to further your education. Okay, so you don't need IELTS. And we have Uche. Uche says, I'm just joining now. Are you working in NHS or care home? Uche, I'm working in the NHS. I'm working in the NHS. Yes, I'm working in the NHS. I actually had lots of care home offers before I came. I had one care home. I always bite my fingers when I remember this particular care home. This care home was willing to pay me 25% more than the NHS was going to pay me. And mind you, care homes pay more. Care homes pay more than NHS. So this home care was willing to pay me 25% salary more than the NHS, but I refused. I think I had some goals that I had set for myself. And mind you, the NHS also has some advantages that it gives you. A lot of advantages above, salary. It goes beyond the salary. So I wanted to be with the NHS. So I chose the NHS over the care home. But the care homes are really good. If you are in for the money, you want to make money fast, then the care home is the way to go. Okay, the care home is the way to go. But as I always say, you can't switch from the NHS to the care home. It all depends on you. I always say that you get here first. Getting here is paramount. So you get here first. When you get here and you feel where you are is not where you want to be, then you move. You move to another place. So that is that. I'm with the NHS. And Rosna Jacob, you are welcome. You are welcome to my LS. Rosna says, can you explain endoscopy nursing work schedule, scope, and salary? Okay, Rosna. Well, endoscopy, is a special unit or is a specialist unit under medicine on its own. and it falls under the gastroenterology department or the gastroenterology unit. And if you know what endoscopy is about, it's just a procedure. It's just a day procedure that you do to either diagnose an individual or to, solve a medical problem. So with endoscopy, we don't admit a patient into the endoscopy unit. So it makes working there more flexible compared to other units. With endoscopy, you don't run nights in most cases, unless maybe there's something special to do. You don't run weekends in most cases, unless there's something special. You don't run holidays unless there's something special to do. So that is it. And with endoscopy, you have three divisions in the unit. You have the pre-procedure room, you have the procedure room proper, and you have the post-procedure room. And before patients come to the endoscopy units, they book. Most of the times, we don't take a case like an emergency endoscopy. It comes maybe once in a while. You have a procedure requesting you to do an emergency endoscopy for this person. So when it is booked, the patient has the appointment. They come in when it's time for them. You explain in the pre-procedure room, you do your explanation, you walk them through the process of everything, how it's going to be. If they need infusions, you cannulate them, you infuse them. If they will need sedation, you explain to them and you sedate them in the pre-procedure room. Then they move to the procedure room. That is where the surgeon or the trained personnel does the endoscopy procedure. They introduce the endoscope, which has a camera and a light attached, into the throat of the individual as far back as where the organ or wherever you're going to locate whatever you're going to look for. So after the procedure and everything, they are moved to the post-procedure room or the recovery room, as we call it. So you allow them to rest there for at most 2 hours. It depends on how the person, recovers from the anesthesia or the sedation that was given. So they rest for an hour or two. When they are okay, then they are discharged to go home. If they need some pathology to be done, you take specimen when the probe is introduced. You take specimen. So after the procedure, they take the specimen to the pathologist for investigation. If it's just to find out anything, after it, the surgeon or whoever that did the procedure writes to them or gives them the outcome of their findings, whatever they found out, they give it to them. And with where I am, we don't do 12 hours in the endoscopy unit. You asked about the schedule. We don't do 12 hours in endoscopy. We do 8 hours. So it means to carry or to cover your 37.5 working hours in a week, you need to work for 5 days. So you work from morning. If you're working from 8, if your work starts from 8, you close at 4. If it starts from 8:30, you close at 4:30. If it starts at 9, you close at 5. So that is endoscopy for you. You start in the morning, you close before it's dark. And you don't do nights in most cases. You don't do weekends in most cases. And with the salary is the same. That is if you are not like a registered endoscopist, or let's say a registered endoscopy nurse. So for someone like me, I'm working in the unit, but I'm just working there without a certificate in endoscopy. So you take the same salary as anyone in NHS who also has the same band as you. It's just that there are some benefits that maybe you will get more, some career advancement opportunities that they may give you that other people may not have. And also you have that kind of flexibility in terms of time. You have time for other things that maybe other people may not have. Okay, so it's basically this, unless you are a licensed or recognized endoscopy nurse, that you take a little bit more than, and that one, it demands training. You have to go to school, write your licensing exams and pass and get your PIN for that particular specialty. Okay, so Sadat Ibrahim is saying that, talking about school, I am a diploma nurse from Ghana. Can you tell me more about how to get a degree? Okay, so for that, I do not know currently anybody who has, done like a degree straight from overseas. But what I know is for the specialty programs, there are lots of specialty programs which are also degrees. If you're asking about the BSc nursing, those ones I don't know. I had my BSc from Ghana before I came. And those that I know who have BSc here are mostly specialty nurses. And these degree specialties are just a year. Okay. These degree specialties are just 1 year. So you do it after the 1 year, you write your licensing exams, get your PIN, and the NMC of UK automatically acknowledges and upgrades you for having that certificate. So that is just, if you have your fees, you can pay, and the school is not going to interfere with work, then you are good to go. You just tell you let your line manager be aware that you want to go to school, and then you can commence if it's not going to interfere with your work. Sometimes too, as you are working, the opportunities come, the educational opportunities come, and they communicate it with you. And if you want to on with it, you can carry on with it. So that is that about it. But if you want to go to school and the IELTS that you brought hasn't expired, it means you use your IELTS. The IELTS you brought, you can use it to go to school. But if your IELTS has expired, sometimes they may ask you to write again. Others will just be cool with you. You can just use it. So you have to confirm with the institution that you want to, train with or have your education with. Okay, so Damiola asked again that what is the benefit and the downside of a newly employed nurse in the NHS hospital who delivered shortly after employment? Are you talking about delivery as in birth, childbirth delivery? If it's childbirth delivery, if you are just employed, maybe you just moved overseas, you just moved from overseas and you are pregnant or you have just given birth, they can't give you the full maternity allowance that you deserve. Okay, they can't give it to you because you just came, you haven't done much, you haven't proved much. So you can't qualify like somebody who has already been in the system and worked for long, like has gained attained some kind of recognition. But I know that they give allowance. I have a friend who moved in, she was pregnant from home, from Africa, then she moved in. So she was given allowance. And that allowance, I tell you, it can't do much. It can feed you. It can feed, but it can't rent for you. No. From what she said, she told me they gave her 300 and something pounds. It's not up to 400 pounds for a month. And that time you can't take salary because you're not working. So they can't give you the salary. It's just maternity allowance that you're going to take. So as for your maternity leave, yes, you will get it. You get your maternity leave. Nobody can take it from you. But the salary attached to the leave, no, you can't. But if you have served for some time, some of them can give you maybe half of the salary for a period. But if you don't qualify at all, you just moved, like you just came and you gave birth, they will give you the allowance that can feed you, but it cannot rent for you. It cannot rent for you. So it's advisable to, gain some grounds if you are planning to deliver, like when you are with the NHS. At least work for some time, let them know your input and all that before you can go ahead with starting your family. But all the same, if you want to start your family right away, nothing should stop you. I mean, it's your right. You have the right to do anything that you want to do. Just get some extra support. I would just advise you to get some extra support from family. So your spouse can be here. Your spouse will be working and taking care of the bills and all that, whilst you just concentrate on taking care of the child. Okay, so it's advisable to move with your spouse or get your spouse to be with you or get some kind of support. Otherwise, you are not going to go through it smoothly. It's not going to be easy. So get your spouse to back you. Your spouse will be doing the bills and all that, whilst you just concentrate on taking care of your child. Okay, so that is that. Uche asked that, please, which part of the UK do you live? I'm in Kent. I said it from the beginning of the live. Maybe you joined later, so you didn't hear me. I'm in Kent, Ashford, which is an hour drive from London or an hour away from London. So it's not far from London by train, by bus, by tube, anywhere can take you to London from where I am. And it's a very nice place, very serene environment. People here are so receptive and nice. Everything you want, you get. Cost of living is good. It's good. I wouldn't say it's cheap. It's not cheap, but it's better. It's better. And as far as pressure is concerned, the pressure here is better. There's not much noise like around. It's a better place. Okay, so that is that. I'm in Kent, Ashford. Kent, Ashford, which is an hour away from London. It's in England, actually. It's in England. So it's just an hour away from London. Winnie Dickens. Winnie Dickens, I see you are welcome to my LS. Winnie, you are welcome to my LS. You are saying thanks very much, dear friend. I'm learning a lot. Thank you so much for also passing by, for joining my live. Yeah, I know that I learned a lot, and I'm also expecting you here, girl. I'm also expecting you. And congratulations to you, Winnie. I think I know Winnie. I know Winnie personally. Congratulations to you. You've passed your IELTS. You've done everything. You're just waiting to move. Okay, we are so much expecting you. I'm always looking forward for you to actually join my trust. But if it's not possible, anyway, you get to the UK, yes, you can go. The UK is a beautiful place. And everywhere, I know everywhere is just like where I am. Everywhere is good. Everywhere is good. Northern Ireland, Scotland, even those places are cheaper to live than in England. So if you get anywhere in England, it's good. I know you're learning a lot. Yes, Winnie, you're learning a lot. And thanks for appreciating my efforts, okay? So Uche is up again, and Uche is asking that with this current situation of recruitment agencies not recruiting nurses from developing countries for NHS, what can one do? Uche, actually, there are some that are recruiting nurses from overseas. Okay, I also heard it that somebody is saying that they are not recruiting any nurse from overseas, but that's not the case. It's not 100% true. This thing has been there since the WHO actually issued is like a warning, or I don't know how to put it, like a disclaimer or a warning to the recruitment agencies not to target nurses from developing countries, not to target them in the sense that some people feel the nurses from developing countries are cheap or their labor is cheap. So the WHO just wanted to throw light to the fact that they are not cheap and they shouldn't be considered as being cheap. So they should be careful when they are recruiting them. They shouldn't like handle them anyhow. That is the picture. And it wasn't communicated well to other people. So they thought the WHO is actually telling them not to recruit nurses from developing countries into NHS. No, that is not the case. Recruitment are still ongoing. Actually, when I heard this issue, I personally wanted to give it a try. So I also contacted some agencies, like I wanted a job in the NHS, and they were open up, they were willing to help, they were willing to assist. And I think I've mentioned some of the agencies. We have Medline, we have HCL, we have Evertez, we have the Pearls, we have Medax, we have MMA. They are all recruiting nurses. They are all recruiting nurses. But the problem now is that because of the COVID, I know they have backlog of nurses that they are still recruiting. Because some were interviewed as far back as January, in February, in March, some in April, some during the lockdown, that have not been able to be sent across to their respective employers. So, sometimes getting new people to add up when these old people have not been dealt with can be a little bit difficult. But if you get an agent that has not so much backlogs, yes, they can bring you on board. They can bring you on board. So it's not like they have stopped recruiting nurses at all. They are still bringing nurses on board. But if you think you are tired with agencies, as I said, you can do direct employment, okay? You can do direct employment. That is where you go on the NHS job website or you go on track jobs. And then you apply for these jobs directly by yourself. When you get the job, you book you apply for a visa on your own, you book for a ticket on your own, and you're already in the UK. That is also very simple. That is also very simple. There are lots of NHS jobs. I personally applied for NHS jobs just last month in August. Last 2 months, we are in a new month. So last 2 months in August, I applied for NHS jobs, and out of the applications I did, four of them called me. I had four of the applications calling me. I had King's College calling me. I have Uville District Hospital calling me. I had Southampton University calling me, and there's one other hospital in Wales. They all called me, scheduled me for interviews. One interview was in 1st September, one was on 7th, one was on 14th, and one was on 21st of September. But because I was just playing around it, I just didn't attend the interview. I just wanted to be sure that has recruitment actually stopped for people, from overseas, and that wasn't the case. Okay, that wasn't the case. So please, you can still apply for jobs with the agencies and all that. Roshna Jacob says, thank you, dear, for answering my question. Thank you also for asking your question, because without you, I'm not. Without me, you are also not. So thank you for asking your questions, and I'm glad I helped. I'm glad I've helped in a way to answer your questions. Uche is asking, which agency did you use? I used Medline. I think I said it at the beginning of the video. I used Medline. Okay, I used Medline, and their services were superb. Their services were superb. Actually, I started with Nursing Staffing Solution. It's a Nigerian-based recruitment agency. We're Nigerian, so maybe you may know them. Nursing Staffing Solution, NSS. Yes, so I started with NSS. At a point, we were handed over, or they were running along with Medline. So it was like a collab. They were collaborating, or they came together. Yeah, let's just say they came together to help in the transition to be smooth. And I commend them on that. Nursing Staffing Solution and Medline, they did a yeoman's job. They did a yeoman's job. You have 3 months of free accommodation. I mentioned in one of my videos that I did. Some of the packages are good. Some of the agencies give good packages than others. So they gave 3 months of free accommodation. 3 months of free accommodation, which is the hospital's accommodation, actually, the hospital's apartment. In these 3 months, you don't pay for rent, you don't pay for light, you don't pay for water, you don't pay for utility bills, you don't pay for Wi-Fi. You have everything for free, up to 3 months. After the 3 months, you go and get your own space. And within these 3 months, you are still taking salary as a pre-registered nurse. You are still going to take salary. So what the agency did, the package that the agency gave, those of us who came with them around that time were giving groceries. Every agent have packages that they give. They give to their candidates, or they give to their people that they bring on board. So what Medline gave was, they gave groceries. sorry. They gave groceries, which entailed a lot: drinks, biscuits, and all that, oil, shampoos, shower gels, bread, things to keep you for some days. So they gave us groceries. They gave a SIM card with £5 voucher credit on it that you can use to call within and outside of the UK. The trust also gave us laptops. Sorry, we're giving laptops. We're lent laptops to use. Yeah, and we're giving pickup service, pickup from the airports. We're picked up by taxis. I was picked up, and the reception was so superb. When I got to the airport, after I came through the immigration to the reception area, the taxi that was supposed to pick me up was there 2 hours before I came out. The driver was actually there 2 hours. with my name, on a sheet, on a card, waiting for me. The taxi was parked. The driver came 2 hours before I landed, and it was superb. I was just picked up from the airport straight into my apartment. My keys were ready. My apartment keys were ready. So I just went to the accommodations office. I picked up my keys and I moved in, settled. My groceries were in the fridge, they were refrigerated already. My Wi-Fi details were posted in the accommodation. So I just registered or I logged in onto the Wi-Fi and boom, life began straight up. So some of the agencies are doing well. I know some also give as high as so I also know some of them give what we call is it the pocket money or something like that? They give pocket money. Yeah, when you come like the first days, they give you some money to put on you to settle whilst you are here to be able to buy whatever you want to buy. Some don't give. So every agency have what they offer. So it's also good to ask. Ask, please. When you are moving with the agencies, ask the benefits and the packages that they have. Some do well than some. Some of them do well. I know one trust that a friend of mine worked with. It's not an agency, it's a hospital. The hospital gives you £1,500 after you pass your OSCE. They give you £1,500 as a welcome package. That is not your salary. You are taking salary. They're just telling you, thank you for coming to work with us. £1,500. And a year, exactly a year, that you receive that 1,500, you receive another 1,500. So every organization, every trust, every institution have what they offer. So it's good to ask questions right from the word go. It's good to ask questions. If it's the NHS, if it's the care home, please ask questions before you append a signature to any document, being a contract or anything. Ask questions. Some refund, and their refund policies are good. Some will give you your IELTS or OET money. Some will give you your CBT money. Some will give you your NMC registration money. Some even give your tuberculosis certificate money. Others don't give. So it's good to ask, okay? Ask before you append any signature to any document so that at the end of the day, you don't find yourself wanting. Oh, Charlotte Adoboy, welcome to my LS. Welcome to my live stream. Thank you, honey, for passing by. You have a question. You said, please, I'm a midwife in Ghana. What are my opportunities in the UK? Honestly, opportunities for midwives in the UK is really narrow. Unlike RGNs, registered general nurses, or registered mental health nurses, the opportunities for registered midwives are very, very lean. I'm yet to meet any midwife from overseas, like a Black person who is a midwife straight from overseas and is already a midwife here. I'm yet to meet any person like that because midwifery is a specialty also. And sometimes when it comes to handling of two lives, like handling a mother and a baby in terms of midwifery, these people are very keen on certain things that they do. So the midwife I know who is here, she came through education, and that's what most of the overseas nurses are now doing. They come through education, they find schools that they go through. As they are schooling, they are working, because I told you, if you have experience in rendering care, you can get lots of jobs here once you are in. So as they are schooling, they are working to gain some monies. Then after they complete their education, they switch their visas from the tier 2 to the tier 4 visa. So they get the job after the education and then they carry on from there. That is what I know. But I went online, I went to the NHS direct job search website, and I found about 2-3 midwifery jobs out of the lot of jobs they published, I found just about 2 to 3 midwifery jobs out of the 1,000 jobs they had. Out of the 1,000 jobs they had, I found about 2 to 3 midwifery because here they prefer the cesarean section. They love to do the CS. It's just a handful of people who actually go through their vaginal deliveries. And they don't give birth like we give birth in Africa. They don't give birth much. One person will have about 2, 3 kids, or maybe one, and they are okay. You adopt a child and they are fine. So they don't give birth. So the midwives are not in demand. And because they do most of the cesarean sessions, they need most of the theater nurses. So I advise, mostly I tell midwives that if you're a midwife and you want to migrate, you can just do a top up to get a degree or something in Ghana, like a general nursing certificate from your home country, wherever you're coming from. Then you use the general nursing certificate to do the application. So that once you get here, you want to switch, you can switch. Ireland is also a good place for midwives. So maybe you can try and cross-check with Ireland. Okay, so Uche is saying, thanks very much. Uche, you're welcome. Charlotte, please let me know if I've answered your question. Okay, please let me know. Sadat Ibrahim is saying, I've got 3 offers now. Wow. Let me congratulate you before I continue reading. Congratulations, Sadat. You got 3 offers. That's beautiful. I've got 3 offers now from Portsmouth and Wigan NHS and Sean Health Care Nursing Home. I hear it's cheaper to live in Wigan as compared to Portsmouth. Do you have any idea about that? Well, as I said, anywhere in UK is not so cheap to live. However, comparatively, some places are cheaper. If you really want to know which places are cheaper, you can do a comparison on Google, okay? So you can Google cost of living in Portsmouth and cost of living in Wigan. I don't have so much knowledge about the Wigan place, but I have knowledge about Portsmouth. Portsmouth is also a beautiful place. Portsmouth also recruits a lot of nurses, and Portsmouth has a lot of overseas nurses. Portsmouth has a lot of overseas nurses. So yes, whichever place you want to, you can live. As for the cost of living, it's not so cheap anywhere. It's not so cheap, but you can have a very clear-cut view when you do your Google search. Okay, when you do your Google search, you can know which area is actually cheaper to live. Portsmouth is beautiful. It's a nice place with lots of overseas nurses. You actually meet, there's some places you can go and you will really meet Black people. But in Portsmouth, Portsmouth is popular in terms of everything. You hear Portsmouth more than any of the places that you've mentioned. But I think the care home also pays. The care home pays more than the NHS. So that care homes actually pay. I don't know the salary they are offering you. But as I said, I had a care home that was willing to pay me 25% more than my salary in NHS. And it was such a good deal. Up to now, I bite my hands and I ask myself why I didn't go for it. So care homes also pay more. If you think you want more salary, then fine, you can look into the care homes. But job security in NHS is good. Career goals or career advancement opportunities in NHS is wide. And there are lots of opportunities you get in the NHS that the care homes do not offer. In terms of pensions and other things, freebies, using your NHS emails to do shoppings, to buy things, getting discounts, and all that. The NHS has recognition in those things. So it's a matter of choice. You can look out whichever place that you want. Okay, you can just settle in. And I know you are going to be fine. You just get here first, okay? Just get here first. Portsmouth is popular. Portsmouth is popular than any of the places you've mentioned. Okay, so Uche is asking Sadat, which agency are you using? Okay, I think he's answered it. That he's using Global Learners Program and ID Medical. Okay, ID Medical is also good. I've heard of them. Global Learners Program, I haven't heard of them before. But a friend of mine spoke to me about ID Medical. They are also good. As the friend said, I have not used them. But from what my friends said, ID Medical also does well in terms of getting nurses on board. They are also good, and they have that kind of recognition as far as recruitment is concerned. They have that kind of recognition. Okay, so please, when you're dealing with agencies, ask questions. I remember I dealt with some agencies and I'm like, oh, they wasted my time. They wasted my energy. They wasted my resources. They wasted everything. Don't go chasing an agent who will get you a job 3 months after you submitted documents. If you submitted documents and they are not serious, please move to another agency. You have to move to another agency because the jobs are many. And sometimes the agencies don't know where to fetch the jobs from. That's why I said that if you're not getting an agency, you want to do the direct, you can do direct. It's also good. If you are getting an agency that is not minding you, agencies that are not communicating with you. I think I did a video on being careful about finding an agency or getting an agency to move with into the UK. Some of the agencies will promise you heaven and earth. At the end of the day, they have nothing to write home about. Some will get you job offer. 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, you haven't gotten certificate of sponsorship. That one too, I don't understand. Because certificate of sponsorship has to come at most by 2 weeks of passing a successful interview. You should have a certificate of sponsorship. So don't wait on an agent that is waiting for forever to get you what he or she is supposed to get you. So please ask questions, ask for their relocation packages that they offer before you sign any document. Some are doing really, really well. And the government of UK released £28 million to recruit overseas nurses. So now it's hot cake. You are needed. Your expertise is needed, your knowledge is needed, your skills are needed to help both the NHS and the care homes. So you have to look sharp. If you haven't written any of these exams, you have to nail it, like nail it. It's a hot cake, okay? Nail it, especially now that we are expecting a second wave and we don't know what to do. It means we need more hands. So please nail it and nail it once. Okay, Uche is asking, I heard that Portsmouth NHS is very good. Yes, Portsmouth, I said it, Portsmouth has name, Portsmouth has that kind of popularity, okay? Portsmouth is known. The name has gone far. There are a lot of overseas nurses there. They also do well. It's a very big NHS. The town itself is nice to live in. The town itself is a beautiful place to live in. So Portsmouth NHS is okay. If you want to know how okay they are, you can go to their ratings on Google. You search for Portsmouth NHS and you look for how they are rated in terms of CQC, care quality. You can look out for it, how they are rated, whether they are rated as high, as poor, as average. You get to know it from there. Okay. You can also read about them more on their website. And I know they recruit lots of overseas nurses, just like where I am. Currently, my trust that I work in has recruited a lot of overseas nurses that we are waiting to get on board, over hundreds of overseas nurses that are supposed to get on board, and they are moving in batches due to the COVID pandemic. They are moving them in batches. Hopefully by December, they will all join. So yeah, Portsmouth is a nice place also. Okay, so that is asking that I hear because of the backlog of nurses, it's taking some time for the hospitals to release the certificate of sponsorship. Yes, that is true. I think I said it before, that there are a lot of backlogs. Some people were recruited in January, some were recruited in February, some were recruited in March. They were interviewed in January, February, March, April, May, June, before this whole COVID drama came. And some of them were not fortunate. They didn't have certificate of sponsorship. Some also had certificate of sponsorship, but it expired. So they had to be renewed. They had to wait for new ones before they could do successful applications. So all these backlogs are adding up to the wait. That is why most people are not are even not recruiting at all. They are not even doing interviews. It's not that the jobs are not there. The jobs are there. There are 1,001 jobs. As far as jobs are concerned, just relax. The jobs are in abundance. And it keeps coming daily because nurses are burning out, nurses are stressed up, people are quitting. So the positions need to be filled, especially the specialty areas. So don't be surprised if you just apply with a diploma, you are given a specialty. Because positions need to be filled. Theater works. Once you have a little bit of experience in any of these specialty areas, your chances of getting them are very high. So because of these backlogs, the COS is taking some time. But it shouldn't take you more than a month to get COS. It shouldn't take you more than a month. If it's taking too much or too long for you to get COS, please start asking questions. Start raising, alarms. Like start being on them, asking them if they are not ready to issue COS. You should start looking for other people who do not have backlogs, because there are some people who do not have backlogs. It's not everybody that has that much. Medline like this, I know Medline has lots of backlogs. So if Medline is going to interview you or is going to schedule an interview for you anytime now, maybe the hospital they're going to work with is not having so much backlogs, then fine, you can get your certificate of sponsorship. Otherwise, you can't, get the certificate of sponsorship soon. So please ask questions, ask them. If they know they are not going to get you what you need fast, then you can quickly move. You can quickly move to other places that have not so many backlogs to clear. Then you can, work with them. Okay, so you're asking again. So that is saying that the hospital pay for your education if you are going to specialize. It depends. It depends on the hospital's policy. Every trust, every hospital, every institution have their own policies and protocols that they work with. Some will tell you, if you work with me for a year without leaving and there are any opportunities for education and you want to go, we can give you some percentage of sponsorship. Maybe we'll give you 50, we'll give you 30, we'll give you 25, we'll give you 15, based on how they deal with you, how they relate with you. Okay, so it's hard for you to get 100% support when you are going to school. It's hard, but if you let them know that you are interested in this, it's just like applying for a position or a promotion. You see the adverts, you show interest, so they know it's on your file that you have shown interest in this advert. So in future, if any vacancy comes, they can let you be in the know. So it's the same thing if you go. If it's a specialty you're interested in, you let them know that you are interested in this specialty so that if any opportunity comes, they can fit you in. And also, some of them comes with sponsorship, maybe 50% sponsorship. We are going to give you this amount of money for your tuition and all that. So it depends on the trust that you come from. And also it depends on how relevant your specialty is going to be to the trust or to the institution that you are working with. If your specialty is going to benefit them, then yes, there's a high chance of you getting sponsorship. If it's going to be of benefit to them, there's a high chance of you getting sponsorship. If not, you get the chance to go, but maybe you'll not get a scholarship that you really think you need. Okay, so Sadat asked again that what happens after your second contract when you get indefinite leave to remain? Do you have to continue signing the contract, or you can just work without signing contracts? Well, the contract is something like a bond between you and the employer. So as for the contract, yes, you still have to sign that I'm going to work with you. I'm going to work with you. But most of the times, after I get indefinite, the contract is not as strict as somebody who doesn't have indefinite leave to remain. So maybe they won't sign like 3 years, bam, you have to leave. No. Or they won't tell you that you have to, by all means, be with us for 3 years before you leave. No. But they will tell you to maybe give them a notice if you want to leave, or you want to step down, or you want to take a break, or you don't want to work with them again. So you tell them, you notify them maybe a month or two, and then you are off. Recently, one of our superiors here, the topmost nursing managers, stepped down. She stepped down from her role for personal reasons, and she is a citizen. So I'm not sure she's on any contract. So she just notified them that due to this personal reasons, she wants to step back so that another person can take over, and she's gone. So at that point, that girl indefinite, you are not so much under restrictions like somebody who doesn't have the indefinite. Uh-huh. So your first contract is for 3 years. You sign. When it ends, you take up another contract, either with the same trust or with another trust. It all depends on you. Even within your first 3 years of your first contract, if you still want to leave, you can leave. In my contract, for instance, the one I signed, I was told if I want to leave, I can do so, but after a year. That is if I don't want to pay anything to the trust. If I don't want to pay them any monies or anything, and I want to leave and go and work anywhere, after 1 year, I can go and work with any person. But before the 1 year, if I want to leave, that means I have to refund the monies that they paid, or the cost that they incurred to bring me over. I have to refund those monies to them, and those monies are your visa fee, your ticket fee, and all that. You have to refund it to them. So if you want to leave within a year, it depends on the contract. So before you sign a contract, you have to read. Before you sign the contract, you have to read. So in my contract, I was told if I want to leave within 1 year, I have to refund the monies back to them in cash or through bank payments, and then they'll release me to go. But after a year, if I want to leave to another hospital, I can leave. I will just notify them in a letter form, and then I can go. So that is that. So it depends on the contract. Some people have 2 years. I know some people, they will tell them to serve for 2 years before they leave. If you leave within the 2 years, you refund their monies back to them, and then you go. But after your 3 years, if you are leaving, you don't pay any money. If you still want to be with them, you just renew and you are with them. If you don't want to be with them and you want to go to another place, you switch, you go, and then you start all over with those people. Not starting all over as in like starting like fresh, somebody who came from overseas, but you're starting from them as in working with them for the first time. When 5 years is due, you take your indefinite, and then life continues. So Sadat is asking again, is the contract different from the offer letter? Yes, the contract is different from the offer letter. I think maybe I'll get my contract. I don't know. It looks like it's far off. I would have shown it to you. The offer letter, even the offer letter, we have two. We have two types of offer letter. We have the conditional offer letter. I don't know if you've had an offer letter yet. You will realize that the first one that came is a conditional offer letter. They've written on it conditional offer letter. So that one states your role, your salary, and all that. After you get your certificate of sponsorship, you get another offer letter we call the unconditional offer letter. And that is the final one. The first one, the conditional, it means that anything can change at any time in the offer they have given you. They can decide to change the department that you are, the work area that you are going in, or anything. It happened to me. The first certificate of sponsorship, the first offer letter I had was addressed to a different ward, to a different unit. And then along the line, something happened, so there was a delay. And then they gave me a second offer letter. That took me to a different unit, but in the same hospital. That is where I'm working now, the specialist unit that I'm working in. So after that offer letter came, then they gave me the unconditional offer letter. That is the definitive one. That states your salary, everything, the refunds, the monies they are going to give you, and everything, your specialty units, your line manager that you are going to work with will be copied. So you see your line manager's email has been copied. It means your line manager has the same letter telling him or her that this kind of person is going to work with you on this date, da 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 da. So that's the unconditional offer letter. So after all these things, after everything has come and you've gotten your visa, I had my contract after my visa came. So my visa came, and then I think a day or two, I had my contract. When I sent them a scanned copy of the visa that I have received my visa. This is my visa. I'll be coming over to work. And they gave me the contract. The contract was about 12 pages. So it's a lot. It's a lot. You have to read everything in it. At the bottom of the 12 pages, there's a portion for you to sign. So you sign and you date. You give them a date, and then you send your documents to them. You can either scan to them or you give it in person when you arrive. But I scanned and sent it to them before I arrived. So you only sign the contract when you are okay with everything. So the offer letter differs with the contract. And before you append signature to anything here in the UK, read and be sure of what you are doing, because sometimes there are some clauses you might not have read or you might not have seen. You didn't see them. It goes and comes to you eventually. It goes and comes to you eventually. So before you append any signature, be sure you are satisfied with anything that you are actually before you sign your signature, make sure you are satisfied with anything that you are actually signing. Okay. If you are just coming across my channel, please do share me out. Do share me out on your socials. If you're a content creator too, you can share me out on your community tab. Okay, you can share me out on your community tab. I think I have to share myself out as well. Yeah, I think I have to share myself out. So I'm still waiting for any questions that you have. I said my whole day is for my subscribers. Not only my subscribers, even if you have not subscribed and you think you have any question, you can still ask. I've dedicated my whole evening for you guys. I've dedicated my whole evening. Okay, so Sadat has a question again. Sadat is asking, must your next employer issue a COS again? As in, if you are changing from if it's the same work that you are in. No, they don't need this. The certificate of sponsorship is actually a coded number, just stating that you are being sponsored. And that certificate of sponsorship is needed just for your visa application. Okay, it's needed for your visa application, just telling the UKVI that you are going to work for them and they are going to sponsor you. They are the ones bringing you on board. They are going to sponsor you, so you don't need to prove funds in your bank account. Like, you don't need some monies that the UKVI would have requested if you do not have a certificate of sponsorship. So that is why you need a certificate of sponsorship. Apart from this, or maybe you are bringing your family. You are bringing your family and you need a sponsorship to show that your family is joining you. You don't have enough funds to prove to the UKVI that you want to bring your family, but your employer is actually, saying that they are going to support you to bring your family. That is where you need your certificate of sponsorship. Apart from that, if you are changing jobs, you need to ask whether I need a certificate of sponsorship. I haven't changed jobs yet. I haven't changed jobs like from one trust to another. It's in the same trust that I have been. So I don't know about having a certificate of sponsorship when you're going with your new employer, but I'm not sure because once you have your BRP card, your British resident permit card, that one exceeds any kind of sponsorship that you need. So it is that BRP card that you'll be using. You use that BRP card once you land in the UK. You don't need your certificate of sponsorship again. And the BRP card, let me say this. The BRP card has the certificate of sponsorship number on it already. Yeah, the BRP card has it. The certificate of sponsorship number is on your passport too. The vegans that they paste, the sticker passport they paste in the sticker visa they paste in your passport also has the certificate of sponsorship number on it. So I'm not sure you need anyone again. Once you take your BRP card, is that BRP card you'll be using. You don't need your passport to be using within the UK again. The BRP card has all your details on it. It has every information that needs to be sent across on it. So you don't need your CUS or your Ghana or African passport again. Okay, so I hope you have understood me. Oh, Pius, thanks for stopping by, Pius. Yeah, Pius is actually a colleague, is a mate from Central University College. I appreciate you passing by, Pius. Pius says, I'm late, sorry. Pius, no problem. I'm here the whole day for my subscribers or non-subscribers, just answering questions. I'm going to be here for 3 hours or maybe more, depending on the people that troop in. So you are not late, okay? You are not late. So Pius is asking, so what is the cost of the whole process from Ghana before you get to the UK? Pius, I think I've done an entire video on it, okay? Let me see if I can drop that video link. I've done an entire video on it, how bait. I can give you some rough estimates for you to know what to expect or for you to know how much you are really going to spend. So the first thing you need to have or you need to pay for is your IELTS or OET exams. And IELTS currently is, I think, 1,500 cedis. I checked yesterday. Yeah, I checked yesterday. Was it yesterday or this morning? It was 1,500 cedis. Okay. It was 1,500 cedis. And if you want to take OET, okay, let me copy the link and drop it for you. If you want to take OET is OET is about £300. The link I've dropped now, Pius, is to that video. Okay, I've dropped a link now for you, Pius. Is to that particular video that explains the entire cost. So you need IELTS or OET. So if you're writing IELTS, it's 1,500 Ghana cedis, which is about £150. And if you are using OET, it's about £300 as it stands now. Aside your OET or IELTS, you need NMC UK CBT. And currently the CBT is £83. The CBT is £83. And before your CBT, you need to do your NMC registration, which is £140. You pay that £140 to the NMC of UK, and then they give you the permission to go ahead with your registration. Then you go to NMC of Ghana, you pay £550 for your verification of your license to NMC of Ghana, and then they verify your certificate or your license, and then they send the details straight to the NMC of UK on your behalf. You don't do that. They will do it after you've paid the 550 to them. And you pay through the Republic Bank or the HFC Bank. HFC Bank, yeah, or Republic Bank. You take the receipt to the NMC of Ghana at the Gulf House, take it to them, and they send the details or the document to the NMC of UK on your behalf. After the document reaches the NMC of UK and you write your CBT, I am part of the old system, so I'm not used to, I don't know much about the new system now, but I learned to pay an additional, is it £110 or so, again to the NMC of UK before they release you or they tell you that you can now get your decision letter to be able to move. Okay, so after you've done these 2 exams, another thing you do is your tuberculosis certificate and your police report. The tuberculosis certificate is now $120. Yeah, $120. So if you change it into cedis, it depends on the exchange rate. It can be more, it can be less. So you pay for this tuberculosis certificate, and then you get a police report or a police clearance, and then that is it. But you have to do this tuberculosis certificate and police clearance after you've gotten your job offer, because these 2 are valid for 6 months. And if you don't do it, within time, it can expire. Some people's own expire, they have to do it again before their visas are being issued. Without that, you can't get your visa application going through. So you do that one too. And then apart from this, if you are going through an agency, it means you pay nothing again. The agency takes it from there. So the agent pays for your visa and your tickets. But if you are doing direct employment, then you have to pay for your own visa, which is $316 now. And then you book for your own flight tickets, one-way flight tickets, which is, you can get some as low as $300, $400, depending on the time that you are, booking for this flight to move. So yeah, so that is that about it. Pius, I hope I've answered you. Oh, I have Babes Telly in the house. Babes Telly is saying, hi, sis, watching you live from Ghana. Babes Telly, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for joining my LS. Thank you so much. It's actually my first LS. It's my first LS, and I didn't know how it was going to be possible. Okay, so thank you all for stopping by to give me that support. And Blooming with Ruth says, hi, host and everyone. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Thank you so much for stopping by. Ruth is saying that thumbs up for you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you, Ruth. Thank you so much. Ruth is saying again, I just shared you out. Oh, thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you so much. And please let me know when you're also having your live. Ruth is also a content creator. She does amazing stuff. I remember joining her live like almost times, just learning how things were done. I learned a lot from you, Ruth. I learned a lot actually from you. So thank you for also having time to share with us what you also had on board. And today I'm able to have my first LS because of some things I learned from your channel as well. So thank you, Ruth. Oh, you want to leave? Yeah, thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for sharing me out. Thank you, Ruth. I really appreciate your efforts. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much, Ruth. Thank you so much. Please, if you are just coming across my life, if you are just coming across my LS, do share me out. Do share me out. If you know anybody who is having migration plans, who plans on moving to the UK to like change their career, have any questions, whether that person is already in the UK or is now planning to come over to the UK, has some burning questions that person can, wants to be answered, you can just share with this person, okay, so that they can join to ask any questions. I'm here. I'll be here for 3 hours. I'll be here for 3 hours. My whole evening is dedicated to my channel today because I have some time. Ruth is saying that no, I meant on annual leave. You are Oh, Ruth, you are on leave. Wow, 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 you're on leave. Oh, okay, you're annual leave. Oh, okay. Wow, that's great. That's great. That's great. I also had a little time to do self-isolation because I just moved in from a country that is not in the UK's assumption list, and I had to be on isolation for 2 weeks. So tomorrow is my last day of my 14 days of isolation, and it's been crazy being indoors for 14 whole days. Like it's really, really crazy. It's actually like I'm on leave too. But unfortunately, mine ends tomorrow. I'll be going back to work on Monday, and it's going to be really crazy because I've been out for some time. Yeah, there's a lot to do on Monday. So I jealous you. Like I envy you small, small. Learn a lot. You say you are learning a lot, enjoying this life. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ruth, where are you? Ruth, blow me with Ruth. Where are you? I was in the UK. Like I joined one of your lives. You were saying you're also in the UK. You're also in the UK. I'm not sure I remember, but it looks like or US or something. You are UK. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, oh, I think I'm missing out on someone. Anne. Anne is asking a question. Please let me get to you. Thank you for joining my LS. Thank you. And Anne is saying that you are learning a lot. Oh, wow. You are learning. Thank you. Thank you that you are learning. I'm grateful you are learning something from me. And Anne also asked, what can you advise? Which exams is more flexible, OET or IELTS? Okay, Anna, I think I've done videos like talking about IELTS and OET a lot because I took both of these exams. I took IELTS, British Council in Ghana, and I wasn't okay with their service. I don't know, maybe I was the only one who felt that way. So I thought I would change. So I wrote IELTS IDP. I traveled outside Ghana to take IELTS IDP. And yeah, I traveled to take IELTS IDP. Ruth is saying that I have videos on both. Yes, yes, I have videos on both of IELTS, IDP and IELTS British Council. So after writing both IELTS British Council and IELTS IDP, I realized that it was actually the same in difficulty in everything. So a friend introduced me to OET, and that is Sadiq. Sadiq, he's also a top commenter on my channel, and currently he's in London. He's also practicing in London. He's also a nurse. He introduced me to the idea of OET, and I took OET. I passed OET at first attempt. So my personal observation or my personal conclusions that I can draw from both exams is that they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Okay, they both have what they are strong in, what they are weak in. But generally, OET is health related. OET is basically for health workers. It just speaks the English of the healthcare professional. So we call it the English of the healthcare worker. Everything you see in OET is medicine and is nursing, and it's something you are familiar with. Unlike IELTS, where you are seeing passages and comprehensions that you are not familiar with, you have never come across. OET, you are seeing everything pertaining to health. So it's very easy to understand OET if you are learning on your own or you are using tuition to learn. It's very easy to understand, to grasp OET. And I would say it's easy to pass OET. It's very easy to pass OET because in my first IELTS, I had 8 in listening, I had 6 in reading, I had 6 in writing, and I had 7.5 in speaking. That was for the British Council. When I wrote the IELTS IDP, I had 8.5 in listening. I had 6 in reading again. I had 7 in writing, so my writing became better. And I had 7.5 again in speaking. So there was no much difference. But when I wrote the OET, first attempt, I nailed it. I had 430 in listening, 360 in both reading and speaking, and 300 in writing. And it didn't come on a silver platter. I actually prepared well, 12 weeks of intense preparation. So yeah, if you want to know which one is really, really better, I spoke in depth about the two on my other videos. You can go and confirm or compare for yourself whichever you think is better. With the OET, you have to travel, and that's the disadvantage that it has with it. But now they have introduced OET at home, which you can write from the comfort of your home behind your laptop. And the NMC of UK is going to accept this OET from home on the 10th of October. So that is next week. They are going to accept OET from home. So yeah, if you think you want to go with OET, you can actually write it from home now, and it's much easier for you. Okay, so honey, you can just see whichever one is good for you, and then you go get it. Okay. Yeah, Ruth is saying that yeah, the host has got videos. Okay, both IELTS. Yeah, Ruth, that is certainly true. It means Ruth, you've been following me like all way through. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for always having them back. It's true. I have videos on them, on both IELTS and OET, and all those videos are like based on personal experiences. I'm trying to incorporate the opinion of third parties in my channel as time goes on. I am yet to meet some African nurses. I want to know their thoughts as well on some of the things that we all think. Okay, so until then, all the videos I've done are videos based on my personal experiences. Maybe I will say OET is better than IELTS, but somebody will say, oh, Sha, leave here, IELTS is better. Okay, it all depends on you. It all depends on your pocket. OET is expensive, yeah, than IELTS. The price of OET is like 2 times the price of IELTS. So OET is expensive, but yeah, hey, if you have the money and you don't mind, it's better. Okay, it's better. Yeah, it's better. Ruth is asking, where do you live currently? Ruth, I live in Ashford, Kent. I live in Ashford in Kent. Ashford is in Kent, in England. That is where I live. Let me also know where you live, Ruth, please. Where do you also live, Ruth? Maybe we can visit and do some collab videos or something. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Like if I have so much, time on my hands for that. But yeah. Okay, so Anne is saying, thank you so much. Well explained. You are always welcome, and you're always welcome. If you have any more questions that you want to ask, I am here for you. Okay, I'm here for you. Ruth is saying, okay. Ruth, please, where do you also live? I'm interested in knowing where you also live. Okay, Ruth. Please let me know where you also live. Let me know where you also live. Okay. Let me know where you also live. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know where you also live. Share me out if you are just coming across my video. Do all to give me a thumbs up if you think you like the video. Do well to share me out with friends, your family, anyone you think is also in the journey of migrating to the UK. Anybody who you think is seriously planning to move. Somebody asked me to do a video comparing nursing in Ghana to nursing in the UK. Charlie, that topic, yeah, if I want to go there, to be a lot of issues. So, to be a lot, because maybe I'll add emotions and end up saying things that will end up, hurting people or something. But I'll try as much as possible to do it on a non-judgmental approach because most people want to plan. They want to know how to do things, compare salary and all that. Okay, compare salary and all that. And I think I have, as far as nursing in Ghana is concerned, I have some kind of experience, maybe not so much, but I worked in Ghana with the Ghana Health Service for 6 years or more. So that is say nursing in Ghana, they lie. Nursing in Ghana, they lie. Please, I don't want troubles. When up, it's been over a month since the person sent me this email. I've forgotten the name of the person. I don't know her, but she's a subscriber on my channel. And she was like, sis, please, can you do a video comparing nursing in Ghana to nursing in UK? Because I want to plan. I want to move to UK. So I want to like know how it is like. And I was like, hey, you want to put me in trouble? Me? Hey. Especially if I'm going to compare like with where I was working. I'll end up saying things. Maybe I'll go viral. So, but I'll try. I'll try and do them because she's not the only one who asked. People DM me on Instagram, on Facebook. They send me private messages asking me to like really, really compare. Because they want to plan. I don't know what kind of planning, because me before I came, I don't know. Well, maybe they have other plans they want to do that. I don't know. Because you can't compare. It's like I'm comparing two extreme things that, oh God, I don't know how I can do this. I'll end up being biased. Okay. So I'll try and do the video. Okay. Especially this week, the nurses went on strike. And I was also here doing my self-isolation. As I told you, I came from outside UK. The country I went wasn't part of the exemption list, so I had to self-isolate for 14 days. So I was here and the calls were just coming through from friends who know me personally, the video calls, the audio calls were just like, Becky, we are on strike. Can you imagine? And I was like, should I do the video now? Like, no. Again, I called back and I was like, no, let me wait. Let me wait and add more flesh to what I want to say, reconstruct or construct my sentences right, so I don't end up offending anybody. So definitely I'm going to do the video. Maybe it will be my next video. I'm not sure. Definitely I'm going to bring out this video before October ends. I'll try and bring out that video. Please, if you see that video here, I beg, share it too. Share that video out for me. I beg if and make sure it gets the right authorities, okay? So Sadat laughed at the videos. Ruth is saying that she lives in Windsor, Ascot, and Maidenhead. Guess where I live? Within the three. Hey, Ruth, I'm not good at guessing, but maybe I'll say you live in Ascot. Maybe I'll say maybe Ruth, you live in Ascot. Let's just say I'm right on this. I'm not really good at guessing. Ruth, I'm not good at guessing, but let's just say I may be right, okay? So let's just say I'm right. Sadat is saying I'm working at a Konfanochi teaching hospital, but Chale Jai cry. Chale Sadat, tell me more. I'm interested. So I'm interested. Okay, I worked in Kolebu. I completed in 2012, and I worked in Kolebu for a year for my rotation on my national service. Prior to being posted to the Ghana Health Service, I was in Kolebu, and I remember I was trained in Kolebu as well. So I remember I worked with some kind in charges who were like, "Oh, Becky, we want to retain you here." I told them I'm too young to die and I can't cope with this kind of pressure. Teaching hospital pressure. I feel you said that. Teaching hospital pressure is something like is on another level. Oh, teaching hospital pressure. So I quickly ran to the district to Ghana Health Service to one Akpo district that I was working. Hey, it's another story. Oh. Maybe some of them are here. I don't want to start going there. Oh. It's another story for another day. I went in that district like full of wahala, pressure, and eventually we had to escape. Like there had to be an escape plan. Imagine having a BSc, your BSc is not recognized, even the school that you went, you didn't get study leave, your junior will come and get study leave. You go and ask and they will tell you I paid. I paid because I didn't know there was any payments going on. I just innocently apply, and I never had. I applied for perioperative nursing. I didn't get critical care nursing. I didn't get the study leave. Eventually, I was just bent on going to school because I'm the education type. So I I just had to go. So I took chances. I risked. I did ninth back to back for 2 years. I never saw daylight. I did ninth and was able to finish my BSc program. Before I could complete my BSc, I was already studying IELTS and everything to just vanish. So when my certificate touched grounds and against you, the certificate didn't do anything in Ghana. And I remember my in charge like repeatedly told me, Becky, you have to work on, getting promoted with your BS. I told the source, I'm not interested. And she was like, it looks like you have a plan B. And I told the plan B, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross. Whether I have a plan B or plan A, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross. And God didn't disgrace me. Oh. God didn't disgrace me. I just left all the wahala and everything. And now I'm having peace of mind. Okay. I'm having peace of mind. A friend of mine told me, "Abroche, the way you share color." I'm not sure the color is coming. I'm not sure. Maybe let me open my window. Oh, it's dark. Oh, it's evening now, so you can. I'm not sure I'm getting the color, but I'm having peace, Charlie. I'm chopping pounds. Ubueni sika. Okay, so Benezam Ponsa is saying comparing, and she gave me that sign like this. Benezam Ponsa. Benizam Ponsa, like I know you personally. I know you personally from my workplace where I was in Ghana. If you are the Benis I'm talking about, then I think I know you. I can't compare. I'll try hard. I'll compare environment, I'll compare salary, I'll compare general behavior of people, I'll compare opportunities that you have here. I'll compare. I'll compare because here you have a work email. If you're working for the NHS, you have a work email with your name and then the NHS mail ending it. The NHS or like net or something ending it. And with that email, you can do a lot of online, get a lot of freebies and discounts and all that. So as for the opportunities, you have them. You have them. You can sell your leave for money. You can buy leave with your money. Maybe you think you've worked for some time, you need some time like to go get some chilling elsewhere. You can buy leave, you can buy some days for money. Okay, and go and have some time to yourself. If you have your leave too, you don't wish to go on the leave, you think you need money more than rest, you can sell your leave and take money. So here systems are working. Let's just see. Ruth will bear with me. She's here in the UK. Ruth, which country did you come from? Ruth, which country did you come from? Let me know. Maybe you're also from Ghana or something. Ruth, let me know. Okay. So Ruth, I didn't get the guess right. Ruth is saying I live in Mede. Oh, Ruth, I didn't get it right. I didn't get it right. I didn't get it right. I'm very bad at guessing. I'm very bad. But how is that place? Like, how is the cost of living there? Maybe you can tell us something about the place for the sake of those who want to migrate. Maybe they can find some hospitals there and apply. Okay, so please, Ruth, let's know how the place is like. I hope it's a nice place. Anywhere in England is actually nice. Anywhere in UK, whether Northern Ireland, Scotland, anywhere is nice. Okay, depends on you how you spend your culture of living, your way of living, and all that. Okay, so Sadat is saying that you are not telling us which country you went, or it's a secret. It's not everything I can see on social. It's not everything I can see on social. It's not like everything I can see on social because social media has its own. Before you land by saying something, bam, somebody will take your one line and go and say it somewhere. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. Okay, so that is that about it. So that but here, as I said, you have lots of vacations that you can go. Once you have your leave, you can go anywhere with your resident permit. You just pick it up and you keep moving. Okay. So it's not I actually wanted to put out a video on that particular journey that I embarked on because because of the COVID-19 there are a lot of changes in the airlines requirements for going on board, some of the things that they need you to have, or they need the safety precautions that you need to take before going on board. It cuts across whether you're from Africa or anywhere. So I actually wanted to put up a video on that. I wanted to put up a video on uh, like the airline, what happened actually in the plane, and also use the opportunity to show what happens in the airlines, what happens there. Yeah, I actually wanted to do a video. I have the video already. I have it, but bringing it out, I don't know. Putting them together and bringing it out is something I don't know, but I'll try. I have a lot of videos I've filmed that are not out. Sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, oh, let me just relax. Maybe as you are sending it out, who needs to see? Nobody needs to see, so let me just reserve it. So if you have my personal contact, you see that on my WhatsApp status, I release a lot of videos, short, 30 seconds videos. Sometimes on my Facebook story, I release some short videos. Yeah, there. So it's not everything that I put on socials, but maybe with that particular kind of trip, because of the changes in the flight requirements and the safety precautions and all that, maybe I'll try and put out a video. I'll work out on it. If I'm not able to do it this week, maybe next week I'll bring the video out. Maybe we can all learn something from it. Okay. So Ruth is saying that, Sadat, Konfanochi Hospital, Bantama, right? Ruth, do you know anything about Konfanochi Hospital? But maybe you have some personal experience there. Hey, what is happening? Ruth, please let me know. I'm interested. I'm interested in what happened at Konfanochi. I worked all my life in Accra. I was born in Accra. I lived in Accra, born and bred, education from kindergarten to university, everything was in Accra. I never lived outside Accra. So I don't have experience like outside Accra. So I'm interested. I want to know what happens there. Maybe it's the same as what happens in Kwalibu and in the others. So that is saying, yes, Ruth. Okay. The two of you need to tell us something about Konfanochi. Maybe we are missing out on. I mean, let us know. Okay. Ruth is saying that nursing is challenging and one needs passion to overcome everything. Unlike some people they go in with all kinds of reasons, but guys, it is well. Keep working well. Yes, yes. Honestly, nursing is so stressful and the burnout is so high. I think yesterday we were having a virtual meeting on this same topic, nurses and why we burn out, and the feedback was great. The feedback was great. Nurses are really going through a lot. I know at times when I was in Ghana, there were days that I had to, sleep over at work to cover up for a colleague. I just had to leave family at a point. Things were getting so tough, accompanied with family things. Some men can just disturb you, put you through so much emotional trauma. I had to put up family and work. It wasn't easy. At a point, I took my kids to my mother's end to help me because I wasn't coping. It was one thing after another, especially when you don't have a supportive partner. It makes things very difficult for you. At a point, I was losing it. I was just losing my mind gradually, and I felt I needed help. I felt I needed help. So I had to put the kids up with my mother and then, concentrate on work. At that time, I was doing nights, 1 week in, 1 week out. So I do my 1 week in. At that point, I think I had a considerate manager, a considerate in charge. So I had 1 week in, 1 week out. At that same time, I was in school. So I do 1 week in. When I'm out, I go see the kids, take care of them, go back to school, that kind of to and fro. It was really crazy. Nursing is crazy. Those who go in for all those kind of reasons, well, I just don't know what to say about them. But all in all, nurses are doing an awesome job. Nurses are sacrificing a lot more than we can think of. Nurses are doing so well. Okay. So that is saying that we thank God for everything we are going through here. At least that has motivated us to live. Yeah, bread, yeah, bread. So that sometimes I sit down and I look at myself, I look at my story, and I'm like, God, I thank you. Because all that I went through motivated me. Imagine a young girl like me, hmm, finishing school in 2012 and having to go through a lot of hell with Ghana Health Service. And on top of it, life too is not giving you peace. I just look at myself and I'm like, if I was comfortable, I would have remained there. But sometimes all this hatred and things that we go through encourages us to strive to become better people. And today I thank God for all those people and all those things they did. I always thank God for all the things that happened at that time. At first, I wasn't appreciative. I was bitter. At times, I look at some people and I'm like, oh, I don't think I can cope with you. But today, I see them on my status and everything, and I'm so happy they came into my life. I'm so grateful because they taught me a lot. And today they see me like on YouTube motivating others, and they are like, we knew you would do it. So all these things motivate us. So that's all you've said. We are tired. Yeah, bro. Those who are fortunate to migrate right from school, they are lucky. Some people just finish school and they pass IELTS and bam, they move to UK and they are already working as UK RMs. Their case is sweet. For those of us who have to go through hell, Ghana Health Service, rise from staff nurse to senior staff nurse, do duties, they will shout at you. At the point, you are everything. I remember at a point, I was a consultant, I was a nurse, I was everything. Oh my goodness. You are doing everybody's job, and yet you are not appreciated. And the salary there is nothing to write home about. The salary is nothing to write home about. So it all motivates us. That is one reason why I was motivated to come on YouTube, to encourage people through my videos, to let them know that something is going on. There's a better life somewhere. There is life somewhere that they need to enjoy if they have what it takes. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So Ruth is saying again that this is NHSP. They give you money for your annual. As in for your annual leave, or yes, you are paid. You are paid. Your leave is paid for. Ruth, if that's what you're asking for, your leave is paid for. They give you salary for going on leave, the same salary. And if you don't want to go on leave and want to sell, it means you are getting more. Or if you want to go on leave and do bank or take up other shifts from other people too, is allowed. So yes. Sadat is saying that I like that phrase, the system is working. Charlie, it is understatement, cry. Systems are working. Everything is working. Everything is on point. Everything is like smooth. There are no loopholes. There are no potholes anywhere. There is a clear cut. Everything is, systems are in place. Okay. It's not like you're working and you are looking back and no. If you want to do overtime is there. Nobody is telling you don't go here, don't pass here. No. So like why I work like this, I work 8 hours in a day. So if it's morning 8 a.m., I close at 4. If it's if it's morning 9 a.m., I close at 5. So the 9 a.m. shift because I can sleep and wake up around 8, bath, do everything, and my apartment is very close to my workplace. It's actually the hospital's accommodation. Maybe I'll be moving out, but as it stands now, that's where I am. Sleep, wake up, do whatever I will do. By 1 minute, I'm already at work. Or 2 minutes latest, I'm already in my department. By 5 p.m., I've closed. So if I want to do overtime somewhere for nights, and the overtime is starting at 7 p.m., I can come, eat, freshen up, and go to my other shift. And the other shift too, you have 1 hour of paid break. 1 hour of paid break. And if it's night, some give 2 hours of paid break, so you can rest in between. Sometimes there is no much to do at night. You don't have much doing. You just do whatever you have to do. You rest. When it's morning, off, you go, you close at 7. And here, if we say a shift is 12 hours, 7 to 7, 7 to 7. By 7, you are going, you are out. So you can close at 7 the next morning, come home, freshen up. By 9 a.m., your next shift at your facility is due. Sometimes if it's a weekend night you are doing and you don't go to work at the other side, it means when you close from here, you can actually come home and rest. And at that time, you can do your laundry, your shopping, your cooking, your bulk cooking, everything you want to do. You just strategize and do it. Okay. So that is that. The system is working. It's just nice and beautiful. So I have Diana Nelson Kofi. Diana Nelson Kofi is saying hello, Diana, and thanks for joining my LS. If you just joined, please share me out. I still have some minutes to go. I may add tomorrow. I think I'll add tomorrow to the LS because apart from tomorrow, I don't know when I can get back to do LS once the schedule starts becoming tight. Maybe I won't get more time to do this. So yes, I'll add tomorrow to the live so that those who couldn't join today due to one reason or the other can join. Ruth is saying I'm a Ghanaian born and raised in Kumasi. Wow. So you're a Kumerican. You are actually a Kumerican. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I'm also from Ashanti region, 100% Ashanti, but as I said, I never lived there. I never lived there. Even my hometown, going there is a challenge because my parents have lived in Accra for a very long time. They hardly go there. So sometimes going there ourselves is a challenge. We don't get to go there ourselves. So yeah, Accra has been the base. Accra has been where we do virtually everything. And I have one sibling in Kumasi who resides there currently. The rest of the 4, the 3 are in Accra and I'm here. So yeah, but I learned things in Kumasi are very cheap. Kumasi is like cheap to live than in Accra. And once you've lived in Accra, you've lived in Kumasi, these two places are big places that lots of things go on there. So if you've lived in these two cities, living in a place like England or UK should be very easy for you. Blending or living in UK should be very easy for you. Okay. So Ruth, you're saying that the cost of living is quite expensive since it's part of Windsor. Okay. Okay. That's why I said in the beginning of the LS that there is no cheap place to live in the UK. There is no cheap place. If you look at the world ranking, the world's most expensive countries, if UK doesn't come among the first five, then I don't know. I don't know what it will be. UK is expensive to live, and if you are living in the UK, you have to be self-disciplined. If you want to save more, you have to have some kind of a discipline or culture that you follow. Otherwise, you end up, throwing money away. So, Ruth, maybe you can share with us some things that you do to save more, or some things that you do to help yourself. Okay, maybe there are some things that you do to help yourself that maybe I haven't said. I talked about cooking in bulk. You can cook in bulk and avoid eating out frequently. Yeah, that is one way of going about it. Also, the clothings, you can buy clothings off season. So if it's winter and you want summer clothes, they are cheaper around that time. If it's summer and you want winter clothes, they are cheaper around that time. You also have to compare, the shops. If it's boho, you have to know. If it's these designer shops that you want to like kind of shop with, you have to compare a lot. So shopping in bulk, cooking in bulk saves. Buying off and on season discount sales also save because they're all quality stuff. Just that you are buying them at a season that you get them cheaper. And also, I personally, I'm not a fan of buying, changing things like that. I take one thing and I stick to it. So the clothes and those things are not a problem. Once I have something to keep me warm, yeah, something to keep me going, I'm okay. Sadat is asking that I should tell about driving in the UK for an overseas nurse. Okay, so that's what I know. If you want to drive from overseas, if you already have a license from overseas and it's valid, the license is valid from overseas, you can use the license here within 1 year of moving. It means you can drive with your overseas license for up to a year. And then after the year, you have to change over to the UK's license. Okay. And driving is good, but you first have to know around town. You have to know around town. And, in Ghana, we drive on is it left? Yes. And they drive on the right. Okay. So you have to be conversant with all these things before like you plan to drive it to avoid any like going into trouble with the cops or anything like that. So you have to be familiar with the rules, with the system before you want to venture into driving. But getting a license here is also easy. There are a lot of schools that you can attend. You do your driving course here, you do your driving course, and then you do the class. When it's time to go for your license, you do the exams. When you pass, you get your license. Driving is cheap and expensive at the same time. The reason why I say this is that if you want to move around town using the bus or train, it depends on where you're going. If you are going outside where you are, it's expensive. If you are going within where you are, maybe you want to use like one particular kind of bus. So let's say like stagecoach, you register with them and then they give you this card that you can, or your Oyster card that you can use to travel within wherever you are. When you are going outside of that jurisdiction, you have to pay more. When driving, fuel is cheap. Fuel prices are cheaper comparatively, but the maintenance, the parking, and all those things, if it's not really necessary for you to drive, you can use the train to cut down costs. Because insurance alone is something. You have to insure the car. You can't drive a car here without insurance. And some of the cars, so depending on the age of the car, it goes high. It goes high. So you have to look at all those things, take all those things into consideration before. As for the car itself, the price is cheap. Okay, the price is cheap. So, I mean, I don't drive, I don't know much, but with what other people say, the car insurance, this parking ticket, it is not worth it for me. Well, because where I am at my workplace, we don't have free parking for staff. We don't have free parking. So you want to park, you have to pay. You have to pay that amount to be deducted from your salary or something. And me, like with the way I am about my money culture and all that, I don't really, I don't want to fancy driving now. I don't want to fancy driving now because a lot of things, maybe when the children join and the schedules are becoming tighter, then fine. But now I have priorities like more than driving. So you can drive as an overseas nurse. You can drive with your home license for up to a year, then you switch to the UK license. Or if you don't have a valid license from overseas, you get a new one here. You buy your car. Cars are very cheap here. Cars are cheaper. Can get £2,000, 3,000. A nice car, very nice one. Like if you are driving yourself, you know you are driving a good car. Okay. But the going about it, the maintenance and those things. So I would advise maybe you can give yourself some months, maybe 6 months. Know what goes into the driving, what specifically goes into it, the insurances, the pass ticket, the parking space ticket, and all those things. Then, if you think you are convinced and you want to drive, why not? You can also drive. So you're saying that you hear getting parking tickets can affect your indefinite to remain application. Getting parking tickets. Getting parking tickets, as in how buying the ticket or what, can affect your indefinite. I'm not sure it should affect it. I'm not sure it should affect it unless maybe you do something that you are not supposed to do whilst you are driving. Maybe like you did something whilst driving and it's against the rules. That's why I'm saying that it's advisable to know the system before you venture driving. Know the system, the road signs. There's a road sign you're not conversant with. You have to know the road signs that you are actually dealing with so that it doesn't affect you, it doesn't get you into any kind of offense. That it will end up affecting you. Okay, you're asking that as in parking in authorized places and the police gives you yes, that's what I'm okay. I'm not getting you. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That there are a lot of rules, accompanied with their driving. It all boils down to road signs. If you are not conversant with a road sign, I used to drive in Ghana. But I bet you it's not every road sign that I know. It's not every road sign that I know of. Like the road signs are too many. And in Ghana, you can go scot-free. In Ghana, I can park anywhere and even park unlawfully and I'm gone. Here, you park in a place you don't even know you're not supposed to park there. If you're not careful, you'll be given a ticket. And yes, it will affect you in the long run. It will affect you because it's an offense. It's an offense, overspeeding, all those things. Maybe you've seen a road sign telling you to go a speed limit of 50 and you are going 70. They can detect that you are actually going above the speed limit and it can cost you at a point. So please, just know know the things that entails driving so that you don't end up affecting yourself in any way. Here, even TV, we pay TV license. So when you move into the flat or into an apartment, the town council will come and ask you if you're using TV, start paying license. If you're not using TV, put it here at the back of your mind that once you start using TV, your license will start. It's an offense to use TV without paying TV license in England. I learned, okay, I think Even in Northern Ireland, they pay. In Northern Ireland, they pay. So it's an offense to watch TV without paying TV license. Hey, so all these offenses worries you in one way or the other at the long run. Because the system is working, your name appears everywhere that they think they can find you. So yes, you have to, you know, I do the right thing. If you're using TV, you make sure you know your service provider, you pay your license to them to avoid the name pressure at the end of the day. Okay. So Uche is asking, have you worked with agency on part-time? No, I haven't worked with agency or part-time. Not for now. I applied this week to work with an agency on part-time. I applied yesterday. Actually, they called me today that they will call me again. So I'm yet to have feedback from them. I wanted to go with a care home and do nights, because the care homes, their rates are higher. Their rates are higher. If you want to do overtime in the NHS where you are to, is permitted, but then because the rates are lower compared to the care homes and the agencies, some of the agencies pay very high. I think I saw an advertisement, was it yesterday or 3 days ago, of an agency wanting a band five nurse, and they're going to pay £50 per hour. £50 per hour. I don't know if there are any charges accompanying this £50 per hour. However, I know that the agencies pay, especially on bank holidays and on weekends and nights, they pay a lot. So I'm trying to work with one agency that I came across yesterday. So I sent my application to them, and they called me this morning that they'll get back to me next week, hopefully. So I'm waiting on them. If anything, I'll let you know. Maybe if I need to do a video on that as well, I can do a video on that to like explain between the agency and then the NHS or the agency and any other thing like that. Okay. Yeah, so that is asking, is it possible to write OSCE in the first month of arriving in the UK? Yes, it's possible, but it all depends on your employer that you are going to work with. Okay, so currently the backlogs have been cleared, or let's say they are being cleared, but to a wider percentage. Those who are supposed to write earlier and didn't have the opportunity to write, the centers opened in July. So a lot of them have written, just maybe left a few. The centers are just 3 in the whole of UK. The nurses are many. So yes, you can write within the first month, but bear in mind that you have to undergo training for the OSCE. And even with this whole COVID issue coming up, you have to self-isolate when you come into UK for 14 days. You have to self-isolate when you move in. For your first 14 days, you have to self-isolate. After the 14 days, you have to do your training, which is mandatory. You have to do the training before you are booked for the OSCE. Some also book for your OSCE from home. They book for the OSCE for you from your home country before you get here. So before you get here, you already know the dates that you are going to write the OSCE. So yes, it's possible to write it within a month, but it's not so possible, especially around this COVID-19 whole issue after self-isolation. The OSCE training is one-on-one. It's a one-on-one training that you have to undergo. I wouldn't advise anybody to start OSCE training when they are not yet in the UK. You have to undergo training, physical training with all those things, okay? And even now, the training, the OSCE itself, there are some of the practices that initially you have to do it practically. You have to do it in person. But now because of the COVID, they are minimizing contact. You just say them verbally. You say it with your mouth. You don't have to practice it like physically. So if it's vital signs that you are going to do, you don't have to do vital signs for them to see. You can just say it. They can just tell you to say it with your mouth. Just tell us how vital signs is done. You just tell them pulse is done this way, BP this way, because they want to minimize contact. So that is that OSCE. Now things are changing because of the COVID. So I would say give yourself maybe 6 weeks. Give yourself 6 weeks after arriving in the UK. Then I can tell that yes, you can write your ski exams. And I'm also hearing something that those who went through the new system have to wait for some weeks before they get their PIN. Those who registered with NMC of UK after 7th October last year, they have to wait for a period before they get their PIN after passing the OSCE. But I'll ask around. I'll ask around and hopefully maybe do a video on that. Do like a video on how to pass your OSCE and the waiting period and everything that goes into it. Yeah, so give yourself 6 weeks instead of a month. So by 6 weeks, you could have completed your self-isolation and done your training. Now the training, by 3 weeks, you can finish the training because nothing different from what you already know. They are just trying to introduce you to the system here. That is just the difference. So yeah, that is that about it. That is that about it. I don't know if I have any questions to answer. I don't know if I have any questions to answer. But yeah, my next video is two things. Either I'll do a video on the new safety tips that are expected to, observe when you're going on board on an airline or any plane, or I'll do the video of comparing nursing in Ghana to nursing in the UK. It breaks my heart to do this video, but I will try and do it. I'll try and do it, okay? I'll try and do the video on nursing in Ghana and nursing in the UK based on my personal experiences as well as experiences from other Ghanaians. Or I will invite a Ghanaian also or an African, preferably even a Ghanaian, maybe a Nigerian. There are lots of Africans where I am. So maybe I'll invite one of them and then so that will land me in trouble. He said I should do the comparison video and I should be blunt about it. I shouldn't mince words. I'll try. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be biased in my view. If I end up saying like personal stuff, it will be something. So I'll be very frank, but I'll try to involve another Ghanaian or another African. I know a lot of Africans where I am in my trust who like moved also. Some have experienced a lot of experience from Ghana or from their home country. I know of a colleague who has 10 years experience from Ghana, who is currently here. He was a nursing officer in Ghana before he moved. So at least I have like a senior. My experience was 6 years before I moved. So I think we'll do the video together. And he works in the care home. He works in the care home too. So when it comes to talking about the care home, he will have more insight into it. So yes, we'll do the video to help, our own people to decide on like where to live or where to work in the UK and like help them to make informed choices. I don't know why people are scared of migrating. Somebody DM'd me and asked me, hey, I don't know anybody in UK, so how do I work there? And I asked me, do I know anybody? I don't know anybody. I'm on my own. Nobody knows me. I know nobody. I also came. Me too, I've come. I don't need to know anyone. I also had that fear before moving. I was always asking myself, hey, so as I don't know anybody there, like how can I cope? How can I live? How can I move around? But after moving, I realized that I don't even need to know anybody. I don't need to know anybody because you're not going to stay with anybody. your employer is giving you somewhere to sleep for free for 3 months. By that 3 months, you already are, you have money. You have made enough to move to a nice place. Even if you don't have the cash to rent, you can provide your pay slip or your payroll for them to deduct, from it. So you don't need too much. Let me tell you, when I was coming to England, I only had £100. 100 was the only money I had on me. And I never went broke. I never went broke. So what I did was that I made sure that the first things I was bringing had foodstuffs, not so much, but at least to keep me for some time, and enough clothing to make me warm. Because the weather is not going to joke with you, baby. The weather is harsh and dry. The weather is very dry, so get enough clothing to keep you. So that at least for the first 3 months, you're not going to use money to buy dresses. You are just going to spend on what you eat. And trust me, if you are wise about spending or what you eat, 100 and 150 pounds can feed you for a month if you are alone. It can feed you for a month. You are okay. So you don't need to know anybody. No. You don't need to know anybody. By 1 month, you're already okay with the system. You already know about anywhere you want to go, you can go. Anywhere you want to go. So Sadat is saying that my experience is 1 year pale, but see how I am in a hurry to leave. So you can imagine the fire push. But Sadat, honestly, you've made this my LS very fun. Your experience is 1 year. You already. Oh, I can imagine. It's a shame. Our system is a shame. It's a shame. I always tell the younger ones who have not worked that much that don't wait till you work so much to be burned out. So you work so much to waste time. I always look back and today I regret for not coming early. I should have been here somewhere 2013, 14. But well, God knows best. I should have been here earlier. By now, I would have been a billionaire. I would have been owning houses. So some environments are just sucking. We are being drained. We are being cheated. But it's not their fault. That is what they can offer. That's what they can offer you. That's what they can. And when I see the level of respect that people here give to nurses, and I compare it to the respect that people give to nurses in Africa, sometimes I feel like crying. I feel like crying because I worked in a district health center and it was that bad. A patient can give it to you, a relative can give it to you, no excuse, no shame, nothing. Like you are like kind of a dirty rag. But here that we are saying that they don't respect people. Here rather, it's paradise. So it's paradise. It's paradise. Unfortunately, we put in so much effort, but our bank account says otherwise. My brother, this thing that I want to say, bank account. If you don't take care, God doesn't help you. You take loan till you something happens to you. You will take loan till like you go crazy. You will take loan till you go crazy. The loans, the interest, and all that is not worth it. Honestly, it's not worth it. The bank account is not reflecting because you are not giving the opportunities to explore. The job is not there like here. Here, somebody can work and get like £4,000 per month. Okay. It depends on your strength. But in Ghana, it's not like that. In Africa, it's not like that. I remember when I was doing nights, I can do nights for 15 hours because the person to relieve you is not coming early. And the person you are going to take up from is something else. So you end up working longer than you are expected. And at the end of the day, the salary is the same. But here, it doesn't work like that. If I am doing nights and somebody is doing day, or somebody is doing day and I'm doing I'm doing day and somebody is doing night, there is no way the month will end and we'll get the same salary. Even if we are the same rank, we are the same whatever, the person can earn more than me because we don't do the same shift. Maybe we are the same rank, we came here the same time, but that person decided to work bank. That person decided to work holiday. I was sleeping. We can't get the same. Maybe the person is band 6. The person is not doing any overtime. I am band 5. I am doing care home. I am doing this. I am doing that. I will get salary more than a band 6. So here the system favors the strong. If you are able to work and you are strong, the system favors you. But Ghana, the system favors the belt. The system favors the belt. Okay. So unfortunately, you're saying instead of nursing hierarchy helping to champion your cause, they rather push you down and shut you up. I have seen a lot of that. If I say I'm going to go with my experience, it's going to be another thing. And like prior to moving, I didn't tell anybody I was actually moving. I didn't think it was necessary to tell. It ended up in a whole lot of brouhaha. Everybody wanted to say something. Before they started talking, I was already gone. Because I felt insulted. I felt so insulted and all that. They don't champion nurses. How can you go to school and come and somebody will tell you that come and pay bribe before they acknowledge your certificate? In the first place, they tell you to come and pay bribe before you are given steady leave with pay. And if you struggle to go without paying the bribe, you blend work with school and everything, you're able to go and you finish. They tell you to come and pay bribe to be upgraded. I don't know where this one is. I just said, let me take my certificate, Joe, and live in peace. So they don't champion nurses. But some people too are surviving there. So how can you say? I look at myself and I'm like, I don't have any experience in endoscopy. I don't have any experience in specialist nursing. But see me, I'm not a specialist nurse, and I'm doing well. The opportunity I will never get in Ghana, I am having here. So things have to really, really change. They are shutting us up. Here, your line manager can ask you things that you expect to be changed in the unit. You are asked. You can also talk. Your line manager will ask you, I'm doing time. What time will favor you? I can tell my line manager, this week, I want to come to work from 9 a.m. She'll say, okay, when you come at 9, you close at 5. It's a deal. When you come at 8, you close at 4. It's a deal. In Ghana, in Africa, I'm not sure you can do that. You're asking what is bank shift? Bank shift is like banking holidays or holidays, as we call it, like home in Ghana. Holiday is a bank. So a bank, you are supposed to maybe rest and you decide to go on duty. It's a bank shift. And the rates during those shifts are higher in the NHS and in the care home. It's higher. So maybe let's say on a normal or a usual day, you are giving maybe 12 pounds per hour for a usual day. On a bank, they can say the bank enhancement for deciding to work on a holiday, you are going to get maybe 15 pounds per hour or 16 pounds per hour. So the bank is like a holiday that you are working. You decided to work, and you can do bank anywhere. You can do bank anywhere you want to do. You can do it in your same unit. You can do it in another unit in the same hospital. You can go to another hospital and do it. You can go to a care home. You can sign with an agency. Any way you want to do it. So that is that about it. You just sign up with them. In my facility like this, we have a group that coordinates that, AFC banks. So you sign up with them. They want to do bank. So when a shift comes on a holiday, you are called that you can you take up this shift at this place? If you want to take it up, then you go for it. And most of the banks pay per week. Most of them give you weekly salary instead of monthly. So some will give you, by the end of the week, they give you the money. By the end of the week, you get your money. If you want to get it at the end of the month too, you tell them they can give it to you at the end of the month. Okay. So you're asking whether care home pay for your break. Does the NHS do same? Yes. NHS pays for break as well. I heard some people don't pay. I heard some people don't pay, but I am yet to confirm with anyone whether it's not paid for. Because what I know is that it's paid for. It's paid for. It's calculated as part of your 12 hours. So instead of the 12 hours, you are working for 11 hours and you're getting 1 hour of break. And some people divide their breaks. Maybe the 1 hour, they would like to take 15 minutes in the morning, take 30 minutes in the afternoon, and then before they close, they take another 15. Some also split it into two, 30, 30. They take 30 in the morning, 30 in the afternoon. So it all depends on the unit. Every trust, it varies. Every trust have their own policies and regulations. But from what I know, most of the NHS pay for your breaks. It's rather the care home that I know they don't pay. It's the care home that I know most people don't pay. It's the care homes that I know, like some don't pay. Because the care home that I had, I said they were willing to pay me 25% more. They were not paying for breaks. They were not paying for breaks. So that is that about it. Oh, today's LS has been so amazing. Tomorrow I think I will do another live. Tomorrow, I think I'll do another live. Because maybe I might not do a video for next week. Hopefully, because next week is a crazy week. It's really going to be a tough one for me. So I'm not sure I can do a video for next week. I'm not sure I can do a video for next week. So I'll try and do a live again tomorrow. If I have good rest today, if I'm able to sleep well, then I'll have another live the same time, 4 to 7 Ghana time. That's 5 to 8 UK time. That's if I'm strong and I'm fit, like to do live. Okay, you're asking what's my take on live in Wales. Live in Wales is also great, but the language, they speak more Welsh. Yes, they speak more Welsh and more than the English. And personally, I'm not a fan of language. I'm not a language person. It's very difficult for me to get hold of language. So personally, Wales is something that I wouldn't like to venture. But if you're somebody who loves, language, want to explore other parts of the world, you want to learn other things, the Wales is also another amazing place. Wales is another amazing place to live in. And most of them also speak English, but Welsh is there, the language also there. So sometimes in the interview, prior to your interview, they ask you whether you want your interview to be conducted in Welsh, in Wales language or whatever. I think I had a job offer from Wales too before. I had a job offer in their NHS, but the Welsh thing, and most of the times, if they are going to employ you, those who speak the Welsh have an upper hand. They have upper hand in getting the jobs than those who do not speak. Yeah, because most of the people there speak it, and though English is the paramount, but sometimes they tend to consider those who speak the Wales than other people. So that is that about it. Yeah, that is that about Wales. It's also a nice place. Anywhere actually in the UK is nice. Northern Ireland, Scotland, but Northern Ireland and Scotland, the weather there is very harsh than in England here. I said that in England is dry. England is dry. You can see your skin actually cracking if you don't use good creams. You can actually go bad on your skin. So Northern Ireland and Scotland is harsh than in England, but all in all, it's the money that you came for. I don't know. It's the man that you're working for. So anywhere is good. You ask whether it's similar to speak English like fancy and tree. Is it similar to English like fancy and tree? I'm not sure. I'm not sure because I've not heard anyone speaking it before. But even the English that they speak here, English Nangasan, they have different ways of speaking it, even here in the UK, like here in England. So the intonations and some pronunciations, you hear it differently here and you hear it differently there. You go to Northern Ireland and Scotland, the way they speak their English will be different from the way England speak. But Welsh is different. It's different. Maybe you have to use an app. Find an app that can help you translate your English into Welsh language. So when you speak it, they will do the translation for you. Then you can know how similar or how close they are to English. But I'm not sure is anything close. Because I'm not interested in language, I never bothered to actually ask. I never bothered to look into how it looks like. Okay, to look at it. So yeah. Even Scotland, the English they speak is different. It's different from England. It's different. But all in all, the basics, you can hear what they actually want to say. And it's different from the English we speak in our country. That I'm sure that's why they want us to write IELTS and OET for them to know that we really know how to speak English. So their English is different from us. So that is that about it. I'm not sure there are any questions for me again. So thank you so much. I don't know how many people I have now still left with me. Because unless you comment, I wouldn't know if you are here. Unless you comment, I wouldn't know. So I would like to end my live stream for today's session. Probably tomorrow, I'll come again. If there are still any questions, because maybe I'll give a break on doing nursing videos at a point. That is why I want to cover most of the things I want to cover. Whilst I still have time to do nursing videos, because I will change my niche definitely. I can't talk about nursing like all the time. I'll definitely change niche at a point. So now that I have the time to do nursing videos, I want to give out that platform, that chance to answer any questions. So tomorrow I'll come live again. So if you see me, you can share me out, you can join so that we have some good time. So Sadat, you are the man of the day. Like you won the chat with thousands and loads of questions. You won the chat for the day, and it all goes out to you. So I'll give you a shout out in one of my videos. I'll definitely give you a shout out in one of my videos. So you're saying thank you for today. Have a good evening. Thank you too. Thank you so much for joining my live. Without you, I'm not. Without all those who came in to join, I am not. So I want to say thank you too for joining my live. Thank you so much. You can always watch a playback to know what happened. Okay. So I'll be back tomorrow with another live. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you all. Bye.